Hello everyone, hi Deco, hi SK, welcome in, welcome in. I'm still opening notes on the side, so don't mind me.
Howdy, y'all. Howdy, Deco. Howdy, SK. How are y'all doing?
How's everyone's weekend been? No, SK, you're awesome. That's done, that's done, that's done. I have that open. Alright. Welcome, travelers, to the Worldbuilders Lantern, where ideas spark, worlds ignite, and every tale lights the way. I'm Alphix, and I'm with my co-host Kitsune, and we'll be guiding you through myths, maps, monsters, and mysteries. Each week, we gather around the flame to craft stories, build universes, and share secrets of storytelling, from Dungeons & Dragons to original worlds beyond the veil. So grab your journal, light your lantern, and join us at the edge of imagination. The flame is lit, and the world is waiting. This week, I believe we're going to be talking about the brand new Unearthed Arcana.
That's correct, yes.
With the 2025. Is this the first Unearthed Arcana of 2025?
First I've heard of. I don't check Unearthed Arcana like 100% of the time,
Gotcha.
so I'm not like up to date. But
I just don't remember.
usually someone in my D&D group would like say, "Hey, check out this Unearthed Arcana," and that has yet to happen until this point. So
Gotcha.
I'm going to say yes. Do note that that could be wrong.
I think Eberron was 2024, I want to say. I don't remember the one when the Forgotten Realms was. That might also be 2025, honestly.
Oh, you're right. 2020. I think Forgotten Realms was this year, right?
Yeah, the Blade Singer, Purple Dragon Knight.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Okay, now I do remember it because Purple Dragon Knight was. Yeah.
And they also gave us Winter Walker for the Ranger. You want me to read it out? Just okay. So for those who don't know, me and Kit like
What
the
are you about to
Ranger
call me?
class. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I was about to call you someone else, but like I fixed it too fast and now I don't know what I was going to call you.
Dang, unfortunate.
But yeah, me and Kit really love the Ranger, and the 2024 Ranger doesn't feel good, like at all. So Kit, before we get into the horror subclasses, let me just remind everyone what the Winter Walker Ranger was. Winter Walkers hone their craft in the bleak and frozen wilds of places like Icewind Dale. Rimmed with ice, these ruthless rangers hunt monsters that haunt Arctic wastelands. You see, it's almost like, and call me crazy, Kit, but it is almost like, I don't know, they have a preferred terrain. Crazy, huh?
Something like that.
Yeah, crazy.
Oh, that's an interesting thought. If the archetypes were based on like a favored terrain / monster that the opponent or the player picks.
Yeah.
So like it's basically similar to how Druid would work, where they pick like waves or land, which incorporates all of them or something like that. But you could pick like desert or something and get buffs like that. It's like Pathfinder First Edition Horizon Walker. Anyways, continue.
Alright. Hi Psycho. So at level 3, these rangers gain the following benefits. They have resistance to cold damage, and when you hit a creature with a weapon, you deal 1d4 cold damage to the target, which can take this extra damage only once per turn. This damage ignores resistance to cold damage, And when you reach level 11, it increases to 1d6. That is disgustingly bad. Oh my goodness.
Well, the thing about that is it's just the same as every other archetype in Ranger. It's par for the course.
Yep. Level 3, Hunter's Rhyme. This is another level 3 ability. Ice rhymes you and your prey, protecting you and slowing them. When you cast Hunter's Mark, you gain temporary HP equal to 1d10 plus your ranger level. Additionally, while a creature is marked by your Hunter's Mark, it can't take the disengage action. It's not...
I mean, that's good, but it's also, like, so very specific to playing a melee ranger.
Okay, I will say this, with the new subclasses, I feel like they're really moving into melee more than... Oh, I don't know. Range? You know?
I'm fine with that, because I don't think rangers should be, like...
No, they shouldn't be
dictated
forced.
by the bow.
Yeah, they shouldn't be forced to take the bow. But right now, it feels like they're being forced to take anything but the bow.
Is what I'll say to that. This one feels like it should be, because, like, that second ability of more HP and lack of disengaging is, like, so unhelpful to a bow. Whereas we'll talk about it later to with the undead
Hollow Warden.
Hollow Warden, thank you very much. Like, the temp HP is still, like, usable, and, like, the defensive buffs that a ranged character would get from Hollowed Warden is still usable, and that's fine. It's just, like, the second ability is actually just straight up unusable, so
yeah,
this does feel very specific for
melee. Yeah. And you also have 3 level 3 abilities, but the last one's just spells. It gives you your Winter Walker spells. Ice Knife, Pass Without a Trace, Remove Curse. At level 13 you get Ice Storm, at level 17 you get Cone of Cold. Cone of Cold at level 17? Oh, jeez. Oh. I forget
you're
we're a
half-caster
half-caster.
anyways, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's fair. But it's also like, I hit level 17! Wizard, what did you get? Wish! What did you get? Cone of Cold, buddy!
Well, it's like... Correct me if I'm wrong, Wizard players in chat, or Wizard player who's gonna DM me this after he finishes scrubbing the VOD. Cone of Cold is just, like, the best AoE, right?
Is it?
Like, that's like, the big one.
It's big. Yeah, it might be.
That isn't going to kill you?
It might be.
Right, never mind. Just tell me right now. Yeah, it's pretty sick. Because, like, there's some other good ones, but they also, like, kill your opponents, or your allies as well, so you don't really use them too much. Bit of a gish tax? That makes sense.
Yep.
Oh yeah, for Ranger.
Yep. Level 7, we have the Fortifying Soul. Your experience surviving harrowing environments allow you to bolster allies in addition to yourself. When you finish a short rest, you can choose a number of creatures you can see equal to your Wisdom modifier, minimum of 1. A chosen creature regains hit points equal to 1d10 plus your Ranger level and has advantage on saving throws to avoid or end the threatened condition for 1 hour. So, Purple Dragon Knight, what's its name? You see, I don't play fighters, and it really shows. Second Wind. There we go.
Oh yeah, in terms of allies.
Yep.
Isn't this only during, like, a short rest, though?
This is when I finish a short rest.
Yeah, so then it's basically... It's not terrible, and... Let's see. It's like a weird thing for Ranger, because it's not terrible, and I could be excited for this. But other level 7 Ranger abilities are, like, a little bit better. Considering how stacked the first, like, the level 3 abilities are, because you get, like, 2 things. It's fine. Yep. Like, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, apparently 5e Cold is pretty bad,
Is bad.
but maybe 5.5, maybe the better. Maybe. We'll have to
I
look
have no
at it.
clue.
Yeah, we'll have to look at it. But like, you understand what I mean when I say, like, this doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel like a good subclass to me. It it is very specific, and I will be very honest. I'm so glad this subclass has identity to it, because genuinely, they took away any ranger identity in the base class, and they just moved it to sub. That's what it feels like. They moved the identity of what you're trying to play into the subclasses.
I disagree. For in terms of ranger,
Yeah.
I think there's 3 identities for ranger. One of them is okay. One of them, whatever. Third one's weird.
No, but okay. By identity,
I just feel like the
mean,
identities could be better.
I mean, like the theme of your character, right? So this is like a hunter, specialized in like the icy areas, the Arctics.
That sounds perfect for a subclass.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm saying. It feels good. It feels like the subclass has a good theme to it. And I feel like since they took away a lot of the theme your character gets from the main class in 2014 to 2024, I feel like the subclasses having these extra thematic components is like really nice. Also, not gonna lie, I just read it. Level 11 and level 15 abilities for Ranger, kinda good. For level 11, you get when you hit a creature with an attack roll, you can take a reaction to force the creature to make a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC. On a failed save, target has frightened condition. While frightened...
It's pretty good in 5.5.
Yep. And while frightened, a target speed is reduced to 0 feet. With this ability, you can use this reaction a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier and regain all expended uses once you finish a long rest. So, I will say this, what I am really loving in the 2024 Ranger is they're making wisdom important. Because it felt like before when you played Ranger, wisdom was kind of like, I mean, it is technically the class's second most important ability, but realistically, for me, it was always the third most important ability, where the second was just taking con.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. 2014 Ranger, wisdom only mattered if you were level 20.
Yes, definitely.
Other than that, it's like, whatever. It literally doesn't matter, I don't think. You don't even do, like, easy stuff for the most part.
Yep. And at level 15, of course, Hunter's Mark has to come into play with the subclass somehow. When you cast Hunter's Mark, you can adopt a ghostly snowy form. This form lasts until the spell ends, and while you're in this form, you gain the following benefits. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest, unless you expend a level 4 plus spell slot for this. Frozen Soul. You have immunity to cold damage when you first adopt this form, and at the start of each of your subsequent turns. Each creature of your choice in a 15-foot emanation originating from you takes 2d4 cold damage. And you are also partially incorporeal. You have immunity to grappled, prone, and restrained conditions. You can move through creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain, but you take 1d10 force damage if you end your turn inside a creature or an object, as usual. If the form ends while you're inside a creature or an object, you're shunted to the nearest unoccupied space. Honestly,
Yeah.
really nice, in my opinion.
I mean, yeah, it's good. A lot of Ranger archetype, 17 abilities are like really, really good. This one is like better than most, but in return, I think like the mid ones are like a bit meta compared, which balances out.
Yeah.
You have a stronger level 3 and level 17, and a slightly weaker level 7 and level 11 compared to the other archetypes.
Yep.
Makes sense. Very balanced. Understandable.
100%. Okay, now we can get to The
I will
brand new
comment
UI.
on
Yes, I'm listening.
good old you in the chat talking about Ranger. Unlike this doomer over here, I actually do like 2024 Ranger to an extent. I think flavor fails that you're talking about, like, don't matter because I don't think class thematics are super important as, like, the thematics that come up in your, like, your backstory and character creation. So yeah, there you go. In fact, I think as much as I like, favored foes and favored terrains, it does like limit your character creation because
100%, 100%, definitely.
you have to like build your character to be like, and that's why I'm really good at
this area.
walking through the Underdark and killing Snurf Nibblins and whatnot.
Well, here's the thing. I personally loved adding those to my backstory.
I mean, I think it's cool, but I don't think you need to like force every player who plays
definitely.
a ranger to have that in their backstory, which is why I'm fine with what it is now. The things I'll go with the big ranger clash spiel right now. The likes and dislikes. I do like that. It makes more sense. A lot of people don't like the Hunter's Mark focus. And I have comments on about that too, but at least it's a focus where like
True.
Ranger was what it was when it first started. There was subclasses that were based on that, and then they had to change Ranger because it was so bad, and then they made a bunch of subclasses that were based on how you would play with these new abilities that you would only know about if you purchased a different book. So it was like playing a Ranger was all over the place, whereas it feels centered.
More streamlined.
Bonus action, you're going to Hunter's Mark, and then your sub-type, your archetype is going to use your, like, as a free action, apply some damage as you attack and, like, give you a bunch of bonuses. And it feels standardized. With the issue is that because it's so standardized how it is now, like everything being based on a concentration spell, it is, like, the most unbackwards compatible of like the classes because there's a bunch of really good concentration spells that you won't be able to use anymore because all of your concentration's being used on your main class focus, which is Hunter's Mark, as well as all of your sorry, I need to cough. I had a busy weekend, so my throat's kind of, or my voice is kind of leaving me. And then, what was I thinking about? Blah, 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 blah. Not backwards compatible. Oh yeah, and then like there's a bunch of archetypes that use your bonus action to do extra damage, because when that archetype was made, Ranger was made where you could apply quote-unquote Hunter's Mark as a free action, but that doesn't exist anymore, so you can't use those anymore. So it's...
Hydrating now?
It's not backwards compatible good. And then my thing is, number one thing, I like how organized Ranger is now. I'm fine with, Hunter's Mark being the identity to an extent. The issue I don't like with it
is
that Hunter's Mark is bad. It's just really bad. So, it doesn't scale, it's concentration, and it doesn't get better through class feats until like past level 10.
It's a worse hex.
And it's just really, really bad.
We'll talk about it, but I do think with how I'm seeing they're designing the subclasses, at least in the horror subclasses from what I've seen, if they're gonna move forward with the horror subclass being the benchmark, I'm okay with Hunter's Mark being the main focus because they improved Hunter's Mark. Now, going back to
basically,
something you said, go ahead.
You're like a druid where your Hunter Marks now like do something else too, something that other ones should have.
Exactly. Also, something that Time to Duel Me said, this is why I think concentration is a mistake. I will kind of push back on that. I genuinely think concentration spells are some of the most fun spells where you have to... I don't know, it makes combat a little bit more exciting and it makes your spell usage a little bit more exciting in my head, because now you have something extra to focus on, and you have to remember that you're using that concentration spell, so you can't use another concentration spell. It limits your choices, but it also, by limiting your choices, it makes you have to think. And let's be honest, D&D combat isn't the most intuitive thing. It isn't the most fun thing either.
Okay. I'll agree with that sometimes.
Okay, sometimes it just turns into, okay, let's roll a d20, see if I hit.
Yeah, you're right. It gets boring.
Did I hit? No.
I think it is pretty intuitive, because I've played other TTRPGs where things get crazy.
That is very fair. That is very fair. I don't think concentration being a mistake is true. It might not be a hot take. It's just my personal opinion, where anything that gets me to focus on the combat a little bit more is good, especially when I'm waiting like 7 other creatures or players' turns before it's my turn again. So it makes me have to think about what I'm going to do, what spells I can take. But yes, to your second comment, I 100% agree. It does nerf martials a little bit too much. Since, at least the Hunter's Mark, it not being a good spell on top of that is kinda ugh. And like, you have to focus on that. It's...
If I do agree with you, I don't know, sorry, I have some things I want to say too.
Oh, go ahead.
I think you're right. I think there's an extent where, like, certain concentration things are, like, wizard-specific enough where, like, it's fine that a melee-focused martial class is, like, you know, there's risk to casting that spell, although, you know, melee-focused martial class, something, they'll have the high con, and they'll get, like, war mage or whatever to like get good at that specifically. I just think that certain concentration spells that a martial class would want to take, because like it synergizes well with them and isn't like super good on a spellcaster, like a full spellcaster, should not be concentration on like just because it is like double nerfs, only good for this martial class, and also like kind of not good enough for concentration. And Hunter's Mark is the epitome of that.
Oh yeah.
So I am in a game with Alf. I am playing a ranger. Sometimes I forget the concentration on Hunter's Mark, because just in my mind it's like, why would this be concentration? It sucks. Whereas like I'm thinking about like other things and like, oh, Pass Without a Trace is concentration. That makes sense, because like it's a pretty good spell, and like being able to cast other spells or other concentration spells while you do that. And like I'd be DMing for a wizard and they cast like a strong spell. It's like, ooh, how do we play around that? That's like CC forever. And it's like, oh, but if they get hit, oh, okay, that makes sense. Yep. And then I think about the concentration, because I you know, that's how I beat the spell.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
But then, you know, with something like Hunter's Mark, it's just like, you know, I forget. Because why? Like, in my mind, why would it be? It sucks.
Oh yeah. Also,
and then on top of that, I don't think concentration is ever a mistake.
No.
Because I've played Pathfinder, and I know what happens when nothing has concentration.
Does Pathfinder
I think it's cool to like. Of course not.
Wow.
We talk about this all the time. You just stack all your buff spells and be awesome. I do say that we have a player who like just did this all the time in fights. You don't always get to do this, because realistically, there's not a lot of times where like you see a fight is going to happen and are able to like cast 10 spells on yourself before you go into combat. It only happens sometimes, but it's still like, when that happens, it gets it gets pretty crazy.
Gotcha.
Also kind of funny, like, this is a DMing thing that I do when I DM for Pathfinder. When I do make like a golem or like a mechanical thing that is programmed to guard a specific area, you know, the party can see that and be like, all right, time to buff up. And then in return, said monster is going to be giga powerful in order to like counteract everyone getting fucking Cat's Grace cast onto themselves. Anyway, sorry. I think that's most of my ranger complaints out of the way, and then we just had a little sidetrack on concentration. Yep, there we go. Also, I don't know if I would call this out. I don't want to say duel me every single time because I think that username sucks. I'm going to call you Lizard because I know it's you, Lizard. And you should say that as well.
Okay.
It's a better username.
Before we continue, hi PT, hi Formy, hi Kimi, welcome in.
Yes, hi Formy. Sorry, I forgot to say that earlier.
Let's get into the new 2025 horror subclass, quote-unquote horror subclasses. First of all, I did watch the video for this that they dropped as well. They said, oh, the Artificer doesn't really feel Eberron-y. And I read this, and respectfully to the designer who said that, what did you smoke and can I get some? This is so Eberron coded. Are you kidding me? Let me read it. You're gonna understand immediately. So, the Artificer, the very first subclass that was introduced, is the Reanimator. Reassemble corpses to raise the dead. Reanimators defy the laws of nature in pursuit of gruesome experiments. These grim artificers stitch together servants from disparate I don't know how to say that word. Corpses use foul magic to strengthen the living and transform the art of necromancy into a terrifying science. At level 3, you get Reanimator spells. At level 3, you get False Life, Spare the Dying, and Witch Bolt. At level 5, you get Blindness, Deafness, and Enhanced Ability. At level 9, you get Animate Dead and Lightning Bolt. At level 13, you get Blight, Death Ward. And at level 17, Anti-Life Shell and Raise Dead. I don't know what Anti-Life Shell is, but just because of that spell alone, I might try this class because that sounds sick. To be fair, there's no way I'm hitting level 17 on any class in any campaign I play. Let's be realistic here.
Yeah.
Okay, if we're gonna be 100% realistic, the highest level we're gonna reach in a campaign, if even that, is 15, and that is like a question mark, right? It's probably level 13.
It's usually like around 12 or 13.
Yeah. So like, and every time they put high level stuff, I'm like, okay, this would be cool for a one shot. That's my entire thought process, because no one plays a campaign to level 20. I'm sorry. I apologize, but it just doesn't happen.
Like, reading through all of these, I will say, like, you know, I'm like, oh, what's the balance for all of these? But, like, high-level stuff, whatever, who cares? Is it unbalanced? Does it matter?
Exactly.
Are you gonna get there anyways? Anyways, yeah, so
besides this, you have 2 abilities for level 3 when you take the Reanimator subclass. When you cast Spare the Dying, you can modify the spell so that it sends a jolt of electricity through the target, reviving it. The target regains 1 HP, and each creature in a 10-foot emanation originating from the target makes a dexterity saving throw against your spell save DC, take lightning damage equal to 1d4 plus half your artificer level, rounded up, on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. You can modify the spell this way a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. This is kinda sick. It's nothing amazing, but imagine your friend falls down, you cast Spare the Dying, hit everything around your friend, even if it's just a little bit of damage, and your friend also comes back up to 1 HP. And if any of the creatures next to your friend was low, they're now dead. So they get a save revive, basically. I think that's cool. I like that.
Yep. The only thing, and I'm pretty sure this is, and I feel like it should be more specific just because it's kind of weird, because you kind of have to read in between the lines, but this hurts everybody, so it would hurt the caster as well, right?
Yes, 100%.
Yep.
It hurts everyone except for, I think, the target that's being revived.
Yes, because it says 10 feet from
Yes.
the target, so it doesn't count them as well.
Yep.
I had to read to make sure because... Wait, Spare has range?
Yes, Spare has range.
I thought it was like a touch spell.
For some reason, I remember it like that too, but yes, Spare does have range, and it is 15 feet, so you can be right outside of the range of Spare to die.
Sick, never mind then. Alright, yeah, cool spell.
At the other level 3 ability is using a Tinker's tool or another type of artisan's tools with which you have proficiency, you can take a magic action to create a reanimated companion. Through the power of necromancy and science, the companion manifests in an unoccupied space within 5 feet of you. You determine the companion's appearance. Your choice does not affect the companion's game stats. The companion is friendly to you and your allies and obeys you. It lasts until you finish a long rest, or until you take a magic action to dismiss it early, at which point it harmlessly collapses into a pile of viscera? Whatever that is.
Viscera.
Thank you. It immediately drops to 0 HP and dies, triggering its Death Burst trait, which is the companion explodes when it dies. The people around it make a dexterity saving throw. DC equals to your spell save DC. Each creature in a 10-foot emanation originating from the companion takes 2d6 necrotic damage on a failure, and they are fully safe on a save. Once you create a companion, you can't do again until you finish a long rest or expend the spell slot to create one. You can only have one companion at a time. You can't create one while your companion is present. And in combat, the companion acts during your turn. It can move, take its reaction on its own, but the only action it takes is the dodge action, unless you take a bonus action to command it to take an action. For its actions, you have a swipe, a melee attack, 5-foot reach, attack roll bonus equals to your spell attack modifier. The hit is a 1d4 plus 2 plus your intelligence modifier. It does necrotic damage. Old Spare the Dying was touch? Okay, that makes sense. Because I also remembered it as touch, but when Lizard said it has reach, I had to look it up, and I guess the new one is just ranged, which just made it better. I don't know how I feel about this ability. It makes sense. I like it. It's just... It's a one companion necromancer, you know? It's kind of, it's not bad.
Yeah, but for like other necromancers where like the build is to have an army of fodder skeletons, because it does get upgraded as you level up through the class, it's more like building tall. It's more than just like a necromancer of raising things. It's building a Frankenstein creature, Frankenstein's monster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have like this one big strong guy that can be with you, but also expendable enough where you can snap your fingers and it'll explode if you ever need a bomb.
Yep. At level 5, you have strange modifications. Whenever you create a reanimated companion, it gains one of the following options of your choice. Arcane Conduit, you can cast spells as though you were in the companion's space, but you must use your own senses. Once per turn, when you cast an Artificer spell from the Evocation or Necromancy schools and deal damage while your companion is within 120 feet of you, you can add your Intelligence modifier to one damage roll of that spell, which is nice. Or Ferocity, when you command your companion to take the Dreadful Swipe action, the companion can attack twice.
Yep. It's just standard like upgrades. Are you focusing more on the companion being a an assistant to you as you're also a spellcaster, in terms of, you know, it's being able to cast spells from its location and, you know, upgrading the damage of your spells, or just, you know, if you're building tall, go all in on the creature and now it can attack multiple times.
Okay. At level 9, we have Improved Reanimation. You experiment and alter your companion further. When you create a reanimated companion, it gains one of the following options of your choice. Bloated, the companion becomes large or medium, your choice. Whenever it hits a larger, smaller creature, with its dreadful swipe action, the creature can also be pushed up to 10 feet away from your companion. Additionally, you can add your intelligence modifier to the damage dealt by the companion's death burst. Oh, to the damage. But you already added. No? No, this is death burst. Sorry, not the swipe.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's actually good. 2d6 plus your intelligence modifier.
Yeah, the damage can get pretty good.
Yep. Gaunts, the companion's speed increases to 45 feet, and it gains a climb speed equal to its speed. It can climb difficult surfaces, including along ceilings, without needing to make an ability check. In addition, whenever a creature of your choice starts its turn with an attempt emanation originating from your companion, the creature must succeed a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC or have frightened until the start of its next turn. This is kind of good. This is scarily good, in my opinion. And last but not least, Moist. The companion gains a swim speed equal to its speed. In addition, whenever the companion is hit by an attack roll from a creature within 10 feet of you, the attacker takes acid damage equal to your intelligence modifier. So this is like a spiky shield sort of situation.
Yeah, I will say, props to them. For like most of these like things, or like you get a thing. I think Beastmaster's best to explain. The swim speed one is always just like, I guess I can summon the swim speed one when we're doing the pirate parts of what the DM's interests for that story arc, because it always happens, the pirate section of the campaign. At least this one has like a good effect as well as having the swim speed.
Yeah, 100%. It's not just
so you don't always need to be
yeah. Well,
be for the pirate section.
Honestly, am I gonna be the one to say this? How fast do I want to get cancelled? You know what? I'm gonna say it. 2024 subclasses are just so much better than the 2014 ones, it's not even funny.
Of course.
It's like
they just added more or didn't change them, so it did it didn't matter.
It's just so much better. It's just so much better. Like 2014 subclasses felt like they were good. Some of them were like really good, but most of them were like, they're kind of meh. I'm just playing my class. This feels like you're playing your subclass, which is like a huge improvement in my opinion. And at level 15, as we talked about it, doesn't matter if it's balanced, is Promethean Reanimation. You have mastered the science of revivification, granting you the following benefits. Facilitated revival. When you cast Revivify or Raise the Dead, the cost of any material component needed for the spell is halved. What?
I'll say it, that kind of doesn't matter at level 15, but it's fine because it's tacked onto 2 other abilities, so...
That's true.
Just a good quality of life improvement.
Improved Companion. The damage of your reanimated companion's death burst increases to 4d6. Honestly, necessary. Necrotic damage dealt by your companion ignores resistance. Now that's nice. Last but not least, Life Transfer. You can siphon the animating magic of your companion to bolster yourself. When you take damage, you can take a reaction to cause your reanimated companion to drop to 0 hit points. The companion immediately dies, triggering its death burst, and you gain a number of hit points equal to your Artificer level. So they improved death burst and then made it even more viable, is what I'm reading.
You snap your fingers, you protect yourself, and you blow up your assistant. This is really good if you're like the spellcaster artificer, and your reanimated companion is like disposable anyways.
Yep. I can't believe they had the nerve to say this subclass doesn't feel Eberron-esque. Like, what are we talking about here? The,
Eh, I get it, because it's like one specific Eberron place rather than like
yes,
the whole of
yes.
Eberron, which is where Artificer feels like you could find one anywhere in Eberron. This just feels like you'll find it in
What was it?
the nuclear wasteland
Yep,
area of Eberron
yep.
that I forget the name of.
It
But
was
you know what I
something
mean
with a
if you
K.
know.
It was someplace starting with a K. I don't remember
It's
the
fine.
exact
I
one.
like
Yeah.
never do anything with the Eberron setting, so
Honestly, let's rate it 1 to 10. What do you think?
ooh, I'll give my thoughts about the class. The first one. The first thing I have to say is like, isn't Artificer not 2024 yet?
It is 2024. The Eberron book just came out as they released this UA.
Oh, well, it's not updated on D&D Beyond, so
It is.
there we go.
Check D&D Beyond right now. Yeah, the new book's out.
Oh, but I mean like in like the classes section of just all the classes.
Oh, it might not be. To be fair, I say the new book's out. The pre-order for the new book is out.
Oh, well,
Yes.
there you go. Yeah. So it's not like out yet, but like it'll be out before this. Okay, that makes sense. Do we know what the archetypes for that one are at least?
There are 4 revised artificer subclasses. So I'm guessing
I'm assuming
base
all of them
4.
because
Yep.
there's only like 4, right?
And they also
That ever
added.
existed.
Yep, they also added the cartographer subclass. Do you want me to dive into that right now? I can.
No, not really. Just the battlesmith is there, right?
Yep, it's there.
Yeah. The thing that's like odd is that like compared to all other classes, there's not a lot of artificer subclasses,
Yes.
and now there's like 2.
New ones.
Now you get to play with a companion subclass kind of thing. Although they
shoot.
are, I'll hold off anything against that because I need to know what the revised versions are.
I can read them to
If I
you.
look at the old version, and it's like a lot of reading, and it's like hard to internalize someone reading it to me.
Sure.
This one, it just feels like it gets a lot better than the Steel Defender, but the undead one was like
It's a bit weaker, but
more
it's also meant
versatile.
to go boom.
Like like you go plus
Yep.
when it goes to the graveyard, as one would say, and then of course you can like later on augment it to do interesting things. The thing with that though is the strange augmentations. It feels weird that like at 9th level, like you get these like sort of character defining differentiations depending on what you pick. Bloated, gaunt, or moist.
Yep. I mean, to be fair, you get to choose one whenever you create a reanimated companion.
That's true too.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's fine. It's yeah, nothing against it. It's just like a good build tall sort of companion archetype,
Definitely.
which is neat. It does fill that niche though, because like the Frankenstein creation necromancy, like honestly, to do that, you would just pick Artificer, Battlesmith, and just flavor your Steel Defender as a Flesh Defender or whatnot.
Yep.
Because Necromancy Wizard is just solely focused on like building the army. I like it. It's neat. I want to see what the new Steel Defender archetype is like before I like make judgments. Just because it is like, hey, there's only like 4 archetypes for this class, and like now 2 of them are like a little bit too similar,
True.
kind of thing.
Lizard. Yeah, bloated would increase the burst range since you can make it a large creature, and then it's 10 foot emanating from that, so the range would increase 100%. So.
I guess you want me to rate it.
Yep.
If I were to rate it, I would give it yeah, I'd probably give it like 8 out of 10. It might get to like a 9, depending on what the battlesmith can do, just because I feel like there's overlap,
Mm-hmm.
where it doesn't feel like completely new, completely outstanding, but um, it does supply a niche for this build tall. I don't know if I should give it points for just being like, necromancer coded for building a tall creature. Just because you could flavor anything like that, and things like that already existed, but whatever. It's fun. It's unique because you have a lot of variable choices when building your creature, which makes it interesting. A very worthwhile to exist class, I would say. It doesn't just feel there to be there. You could even just like get rid of the necromancy stuff with it if you that's not what you're into, and make it a golem steel defender, so you can play steel defender, but more versatile, rather than this sort of unversatile version, which is what the 2014 is, just because I don't know what 2024 is yet.
Yep.
And I'll find out later.
I'll say
Self-destructor. That is a good way to play. It's really funny because you just like build like the spider climb guy.
Yep, and just fall on
to
top
get
of
to
them.
places. Well, like go out and then wait for it to explode. And just cast spells through it.
Yep. I will say this. The 2024 Artificer, from what I've read, is definitely an improvement on the 2014 one. It is much better. It feels much better. And I'm also going to add a small little segment here. I don't know why they hated the Artificer in 2014, where they added nothing in any of the expansions, any of the extra books. There was nothing Artificer in it. And now they're adding Artificer stuff. Honestly,
because Artificer was like technically not official because it came out in the Eberron books,
yep.
and I guess they could only like do that after it came out of Tasha's,
Mm-hmm.
and then like the next big book after Tasha's was 2024. So
That's true.
that's how it is.
I do like the fact that they're giving love to the Artificer. For me, I'm gonna rate it realistically. I'm not gonna take level 15 into account. I'm gonna rate it from a realistic campaign point, and I give it a 7 out of 10. The improved reanimation is really nice. The companions' abilities and like the self-destruction is what's really catching my interest here. Where I can just, have it climb walls and then fall on top of people and go boom. In that aspect, that's nice. I do wish there was a little bit more to the companion other than just exploding, you know?
Well, that's where like the level ups come from, where it deals AoE damage constantly, or it takes it reflects damage whenever it gets hits and stuff like that.
That's true. And yeah, we
Can
are...
attack like if you go with the one that just attacks a bunch of times per turn, has really strong attacks, you're not building for self-destruct because you'd rather keep that thing alive.
Yep.
Because it does better when it's alive. I just think it's cool that
It can.
You don't need to like build this strong attacking monster. It can also just be like a scouting monster that blows up, which is awesome.
That's true. But there's also the small fact that I don't know how far this creature can go away from you. It says it can move on its own, so I'm assuming pretty far. But like, even if you do scout with it, right? This isn't like a... It's not like a shadow clone from like Naruto where it feeds back the information, right? It just goes and explodes. It goes and goes boom. And yeah, I do think we're overrating the self-destruct a little bit. The damage is kind of lacking. I do wish the damage scaled a little bit better. Like maybe a damage improvement at level 5 to 3d6 and level 9 to 4d6. And at level 15, I do think it can be like 6d6 and I think it'd be fine.
I don't think so, for the
Really,
same
why?
reasons I was like talking earlier, where you build it in different ways. Like I think it would be too strong if, like, your big battle guy also did a fuck ton of damage when it exploded.
That's true. You're right.
Like, I think everything is balanced, because, like, you build for the explosion, you build for not the explosion, you build for reflect damage, you build for not that, like, it is so customizable, and all of its stuff is, like, not super good, but, you know, you just build it together, and I think that that's fine, right? Like, you just stack a bunch of different abilities that either give it more versatility in what you want it to do, or fully focused on one specific thing.
That's also very
And I
fair.
think that's, like, the point of this, because if you're not building it to, like, have versatility, then you should just play the Steel Defender.
You're right. You're right about that. I will say this: the HP scaling on this is nice. It's 4 plus 4 times your Artificer level. The
Yep.
companion has
Standard companion scaling for 2024.
Yep.
Okay, yes. Thank you for reminding me, Lizard. Like, that's the thing, right? Like, you learn just Lightning Bolt, right? And then you just fucking strike through that thing. That's the first build that came to mind, is not self-destruct, but big beefy guy with a lot of attacks, and, you know, you build onto that strong attack, and you just lightning through that shit.
Oh, that's true. I forgot to read that. It has lightning absorption. Whenever the companion is subjected to lightning damage, it regains a number of hit points equal to the damage dealt. So, oh, yeah, you can actually, like, keep this alive for a very long time. And it be, like, really good. Yeah, you're right. You know what?
Okay, so
I take that back. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10, definitely.
level 9 for getting Lightning Bolt, because I guess you're still like a 3/4 caster or whatever it is, or I don't know, Artificer was always weird. I think they're like half officially now.
They're
Whatever.
half. Yeah, they're half.
I'm just saying. 3 Artificer, 5 Wizard. Level 8, you can do this.
That's true. That is very true.
Yeah, or Sorcerer Friend too. Like, that's true too. You can, like, it helps also validate, like, building multiple spellcasters, right?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
now you're building a frontliner that gets healed from your blaster caster's moves.
That's true. That's true. Like, I'm thinking this reanimated companion next to, like, Tivik, which was basically a lightning caster. Like, all of my damaging spells were lightning damage focused. And it's just, like, really good.
Is Scribe still, well, I mean, backwards compatible is what you would say to that.
Yep.
So, the answer is yes. And I know this frickin' necromance lit lizard here, just, like, always trying to build creatures that you can heal in weird ways. Usually necrotic magic, but this one's lightning magic.
Well, technically, you make it with necrotic magic, and then you boost
I know.
it
I'm
with
just, like, in
lightning.
other TTRPGs, your big fucking undead guy gets healed with necrotic magic, so you would be like, nobody cast AoE healing because that damages it, and everyone, if you can, cast AoE necrotic magic because that guy, he gets healed from it, and I also get healed from it, kind of thing.
I guess the biggest question here becomes, by the way, this companion is resistant to necrotic and poison, and immune to lightning, charm, and exhaustion poisons. My question becomes, can you heal? I don't think there's anything in the rules that says you can't heal this with just a normal healing spell either.
What's its, like, creature type?
Oh, it is undead. It is undead. It is a small undead neutral. Though I don't think healing damages undeads necessarily, does it? In D&D?
I mean, someone let me know. I know, like, several modules where it does and doesn't, so if not, cool.
Gotcha.
If also not, also cool.
Yep. Alright, our next subclass, Bard, College of Spirits. Using occult trappings, Bard of the College of Spirits conjure legendary and long-dead spirits to change the world once more. But such entities are capricious and what a bard summons isn't always entirely under their control. So we got a summon table. At level 3, you gain the channeler ability. You learn how to contact spirits beyond the grave, letting their power and knowledge flow through you. You gain the following benefits. Guiding Whispers. You know the guidance cantrip. It has a range of 60 feet when you cast it. This is kinda good. And by kinda, I mean like, this is really good. It's like really, really good.
It's good, but also it's... Sorry, I only have a few things to say about this, because a lot of these archetypes, save for 2, I've, seen before, because they're just updated 2014 classes. Guidance is good, and Bard wants guidance, because it's like kind of bardic inspiration, except a bit more specific, but also doesn't take your, limited resource.
Yep. And I believe with the current guidance, you do have to specify which check you're boosting with guidance, if I'm not mistaken.
Which is fine. It's not an issue, because, you can't use guidance unless, you know the check you're making anyways, because if it's a surprise, you don't have the chance to use guidance in the first place.
True.
This is more of,
Yep.
I guess it's a DMing thing. No, it shouldn't work like that either, because it's an action. It's a surprise that you need a reaction to that. But yeah, nope, I guess it's just clarification for bad DMs. I don't know. Anyways, continue.
You get the spiritual focus ability from the channeler as well. You employ tools that aid you in channeling spirits. You gain a gaming set playing cards. You have proficiency with this gaming set. And you can use the cards or one of the following items as a spellcasting focus for your bard spells. An arcane focus, a crystal orb, a crystal or an orb, candle or ink pen. Interesting. Sure, why not? And then you also get spirits from the beyond, which is the spirit table. You roll. Let me read this. While holding a spellcasting focus, you can take a bonus action to expand one of your bardic inspirations and call forth the power of a spirit. Roll the bardic inspiration die and refer to the spirits from the beyond table to determine the spirit you channel. Then choose one creature you can see within 30 feet of yourself as the spirit's target. The spirits immediately take effect. If the spirit's effect requires a saving throw, the DC equals your bard spell save DC. You get the beloved spirit. You have 12 spirits. You get the beloved spirit. I guess you get some of these as you level up as well, because
yes,
yep, it goes all the way up to a D12.
Yeah. So just to explain it, it's basically a random table to get a random effect, and the dice you roll is based on your bardic inspiration die, which of course increases in level. So it does mean the higher ones are definitely stronger than the lower ones at various levels, past 8 or 6 effectively. Because you get those at higher levels, because that's when your bardic inspiration die increases.
So for your first 6, you get beloved. The target.
Oh wow, you're reading all of them, huh?
Should I? That's what I was thinking. I kind of don't want to read all of this.
Then don't. It's a random table. You don't really need to know what each of them does, because
it's random.
It doesn't really affect how you would play the class, because you can't choose.
Yep.
Which ones you get.
At level 6, you get empowered channeling. Your ability to channel spirits improve. You gain the following benefits: power from beyond. Once per turn, when you cast a bard spell that deals damage or restores hit points, roll a d6. You gain bonus to one of the spell's damage rolls, or total hit points to the spell restores equal to the number rolled. So you get an extra d6 for your damage or healing, and then you get spiritual manifestation. You always have the spirit guardian spell prepared. Whoa! Okay. You can cast the spell
Reading.
once without a spell slot.
Keep reading. That's not the good part yet.
And you regain the ability to cast it this way when you finish a long rest. Whenever
That's the good part. No, it's not. Keep reading.
Whenever you start casting the spell, you can modify the spirits. Also guard against worldly threats. When cast this way, you and allies within the spell's emanation have half cover. What?
Yeah, so you know how Spirit Guardians is like
It's already a
the
busted spell
that
Yeah.
makes clerics like super fucking broken?
Yeah.
You have a better one.
What the fuck? I'm laughing because this is like this is broken. This is just
it's like, yeah, it's like straight up good.
What? Okay. Sure. They
What I assume the balancing thought process is in like, unlike every other bard archetype sort of bardic inspiration improvement that you would get from the archetype, this one's just random, so like up in the air if it's useful or not. So then, you know, it's sort of like, hey, bards have like strong level 3 and then weaker other ones until certain points. This one's had a weaker level 3 but then stronger mid points, which is like this one. But you know, so this is pretty good. So it's more than just like weak early, strong mid.
Yeah. And like
this is like fucking the level 3 option could straight up be like a detriment.
Yes.
And I would still take this class.
Yeah, 100%.
Like the bonus point is you get 2 abilities, like you get better Spirit Guardians and your healing and damage just is improved.
And you get Spirit Guardians for free, mind you. For free.
Yeah.
Like
well, it's also I don't think it's a bard spell in the first place, so it makes sense you would get it for free. It's like
not just that. No. You get to cast it for free. Without expanding a spell slot.
I think that like isn't super important. Just because bard's a full caster, like I guess in the earlier ones you can like use it just like 1 more time per day, as opposed to like, you know, you can use it 3 times instead of 2, which doesn't do math, and then later on you're just gonna get more spell slots. But you know, it's useful. I still think the broken parts are the fact that your once per day cast is Spirit Guardians, a really broken spell, and then you can make it even
half
better.
cover. Yeah, it gives you half cover.
Yeah.
Holy. Okay.
Gives your party half cover.
Yeah, your entire party within your Spirit Guardians half cover. That is, wow. Okay. At level 14, you get Mystical Connection. You gain mastery over the spirits. You get to roll twice on the Beyond table rather than once, and choose whichever one you want. It doesn't matter. That level 6 is still enough for me. What the hell? Like, what?
Oh shit, that's like the entire level 14 one.
Yeah,
okay, so yeah. Your first and last abilities are like bad. But level 6 is absolutely broken. Honestly, this does balance it out, but I think in a bad way. Whatever is what I'll say. I hope this doesn't change. I think this class is fucking sick. I don't care.
No, this is sick. But like they pumped the entire power into your level 6 ability, which I wasn't expecting to see that. So for those who are unaware, I didn't read this so that I could give my first reactions on stream, except for the Hollow Warden, which I will get into. I already have a build in mind for that shit. But like, what? Half cover Spirit Guardians? What? Like, what are we doing here? Hi Noctis, hello, welcome in.
You know this notoriously broken spell? What if it was better? Like, in my mind, when I read that the first time, like, oh, they get Spirit, like, that makes sense. Like, you know,
Spirit class,
they get access to a powerful spell. I'm like, yeah, you know, a lot of archetypes are able to do that. But it's even better. It's like, it's the reason to play the class, almost.
It is the reason to play the class. I don't care what anyone else says, this is the entire reason to play that class. Unless you want to be funny, haha, wild magic bard with wild spirits, yeah, sure. You do you, boo. That being said, bard itself is already like such a good class. In my head, it's
Bard's really weird in terms of like goodness. It is good, but it's weird that like basically everything after level, I want to say 3, but I haven't checked in a while, is like diminishing returns.
it
Other than
kind
like,
of
of course,
is.
archetype abilities,
It kind of
which is
is.
weird because it's still like good.
Yeah.
You know, like after you get your archetype, like the next good thing from your levels up is like the bardic die increases.
I genuinely
about
think you take this bard to like level 6 and then you multi-class.
Of course, what you have no reason to stick with it.
Yeah.
You already got
Unless
like the best feat in the game.
unless you're like in a one-shot, right? Where you can just play a level 20 bard. I think you just take this level
I
bard.
wouldn't play a level 20 bard. Level 20 ability is like dog shit.
What do you mean? Power word twice a day?
Damn, really? Wizards can do that shit for like
Yes, but like
10 times a day.
but it's also a bard. I like bards. Bards are cool.
It's like
This also comes
bards
from my
are
hate of
cool,
the wizard.
but like bards aren't meant to just like, you know, kill something on the spot. So it's weird that like your level 20 ability allows you to do that. It's like you're building sort of jack of all trades S
Yes.
class, like utility and or supports, however you want to play them.
And at level
Not
20
really
you
for
become
like
god for some
killing
reason.
people. And then at level 20 you're like, haha, I can do that. But every other class who is built to kill stuff just is better than that.
That is fair. That is fair. But
It's like I would rather have the bard level 20 feet help your abilities as a bard in some way, shape, or form, and not just give you it makes you a shitty wizard. That's all it is. Like,
very fair.
here's this thing that spellcasters can already do for like no real drawback, and like, oh, you can do it twice, or like cast it on 2 people if those 2 people are standing right next to each other. It's like
No, that's fair. That
it's one of the more disappointing level 20 feats.
I'll be honest, right now I'm just thinking level 3 Hollow Warden with level 6 Spirits Bard, and that is just so broken beyond belief it's not even funny.
That depends on what levels you're
No,
playing
actually-
this theoretical
wait.
one-shot in.
Never mind, you can't do that. You can't do that because Spirits Guardians is con, no? It's concentration.
Is it? It's like cleric spells, just like some of them aren't concentration for some reason.
I pray to God that it is. I'm going to check right now. If it's not, then I'm starting a riot.
It's concentration.
Oh, thank
But
God.
like, even in that case, like, so what? It's like doing more damage than your Oh, you're talking about, you said, you picked
Hollow.
wardens, right?
Yeah, I was going Warden.
Or yeah. Then
Warden
yeah.
is kind of Yeah, you probably go like
that one you do need your
yeah, maybe
your Hunter's
Paladin,
Mark.
maybe Paladin, or like a fighter
Probably.
or something. But yeah, this is
Paladin works because then you have good charisma too, which is helpful for your paladin
Yep.
features.
1 through 10, I think this is a 9, simply because of the power of the level 6 ability. I just can't get over it. I can't get over it. Like, what is this? Who allowed this? Why is this a thing? What do you think?
I give this a 9. It would be a 10 because like it's insane and fun, but I feel like the reason why it doesn't get all the way there is that like the third, like the level 3 feats should be.
It's kind of meh.
It's not that it's met. It's like that should be the focus.
But it's not. Not when you have empowered channeling, I get you. This is something. Someone at WotC went, what if we made bards?
Because that's what.
What if we made bards?
Like you know, that makes sense.
Oh, I think you dropped out of the VTube studio thing.
Oh yeah. Was that like Robot on call? Was it just like an internet thing?
No, I think my host went down. Yeah, my host went
Ah,
down. Yeah, it's my end. There you go. Host is back up. Um, I don't know. This class feels like someone really liked the Bard, but they also liked the Spirit Guardian spell and went, what if we gave it to Bards and made it better?
well, so the reason why this was my favorite bard class. I liked being like this gravekeeper that like inspired people with stories of fallen heroes and whatnot. Might in the VTube studio thing. Oh yeah, there we go. It was just loading.
Right.
And like I'm all for like, you know, Spirit Guardians making this better. But in return for that, the level 3 ability got worse, actually.
It did.
It's kind of featured as a buff because there was a little bit of an action economy kind of thing. How it worked is you got the spirits. I think with a bonus action, it might have been like an action for some of these things, but it kind of doesn't really matter with Bard unless you also wanted to be a attacking Bard. You would roll for it, get the spirits, and then throughout like this, I think like a day-long period, might be multiple hours, who knows. You can then use like another bonus action or something to, you know, then use the spirits, which makes sense in my mind when you're rolling for the random effect. You then wait for the opportunity to use it. Whereas how it is now, it's all just one action and it gets used immediately. You would only ever use this in combat. And if you get like the one ability that's like for skill checks, you just like maybe they do a grapple at one point. That's not even skill checks anymore. It's just useless. You just hope you don't get that one, which I think just kind of makes the class less interesting.
I agree.
Because it wasn't wild magic random, because you got to choose like how to use it. You know, because they were all good buffs, and you know, skill checks happen throughout the course of a session, and then combat usually happens throughout the course of the session. But now this does just feel like not so much wild magic sorcerer kind of thing, but like the barbarian wild magic, where like if something random happens, except you actually have to like actively do it for barbarian, just whenever you rage. So it's kind of like, why would you ever use this ability? Because
no,
it's random and happens immediately. Like, why would you not just use bardic inspirations to give someone the extra attack?
That's true. Yeah, I don't like the theme of this class too much, simply because...
Yeah, you know what? I'm bumping it down to 8.
Yeah, you're right.
In fact, I'll bump it down to 7.
You're right. I was too stuck on the power of the level 6, but as a class as its whole, as a subclass, it is very meh. I don't really jive with it. It feels like a power build class subclass more than a...
Like, you would take it because in 2014 you would take it because it's like, as I said before, it's an interesting way to do your bardic inspirations. A bit random, but once again, you like decide when to use the random thing you rolled. In this one, it's too random, and you don't really get to decide when you use it. So like, you would never build a bard for this feat because you can't, you know?
Yeah.
It would literally just be for the lulz. You would build it because the level 6 feat is broken. I'll still play this when I play a bard because I'm still playing the Gravekeeper bard, and this happens to be the best archetype for that like character backstory. But it just feels a little bit lamer that like its main feat is level 6 instead of level.
Honestly, I will do it like this. I'll give it 2 different points. One for power building, one for the actual subclass itself. For power building, 10 out of 10. Simply because of that level 6 feat. For the class itself, a 3 out of 10. If even that.
I disagree, because in my opinion, every class archetype should be like power build, and you just choose that archetype specifically for the options it gives you. Like, each one of them has various options. You know, you pick Berserker because you want to deal more damage. You pick World Tree Barbarian because you want to do some healing and like some utility movement shit, and they're still both good.
Yes, 100%.
This is like if you want to do the best, like this feels like other bard archetypes is more utility or a specific way you want to play the bard, as in you're an attacking bard now, or you're a monk bard now.
Yep.
This feels like, unless you're playing like the martial bard, Spirit Guardians that gives you half cover is like the best thing you can possibly get as like a support tool.
Yes.
And nothing else like pales in comparison.
Yep.
And I don't think that's good balancing.
I don't think so.
I wouldn't give it points for that.
I don't think so. Like, exactly as I talked about in the Artificer one, the Artificer one feels like it has a whole theme going through it, and it's good. The College of Spirits, I understand the theme. I'm not gonna say there's no theme. There is. I understand the theme. It's just, it doesn't feel good. Because...
Why does the theme not feel good?
It's random. That's why it doesn't feel good. If it wasn't random, I'd be 100%
What I disagree
down.
with is that's not what the theme is, that's the mechanic.
That's also true. But like, your thematic mechanic being random feels bad for me.
Yep. I mean, you just say in such a, like, I don't...
It's a weird way to say it, I understand it. It's the... I feel like the mechanics don't empower the theme the same way the Artificer subclass does. Or the Hollow Warden, which I've read, does. The mechanics, I don't feel really represent the theme well, which is why I'm like, the theme, for me, the theme feels weak.
I think it does. Because
really?
You summon a random spirit, like, because that's in the area, and it's just, the role is what spirit is in that area, because it's, you know, you don't have control over spirits, you're able to talk to them, and it makes sense. I just think mechanically it's worse than what it was before, but thematically it makes sense and it works. Also, I hate to say this, I don't put too much stock into the theme itself, just because you can make the theme whatever you want. Like I said before, as a battlesmith, you can just make your guy a Frankenstein, who it doesn't really matter too much.
100%.
And then, but I also disagree with, because I think the theme worked well.
I'm someone who, I said this before. My character building, I focus on the subclass I'm going to choose and create the theme of the character around it. So it's different ways of character building. But yeah, if like for a good player who's going to make the theme of the character whatever they want, and they can they can flavor other subclasses into that theme, 100%. 100%, I agree. And
Howdy, Manina.
Hi, Manina. Also, when you did say you don't have control over the spirits and it's random because of that, you see, that increases the score for me, because you are correct. You know, I'll also give it a 7. I'll give it a 7. 100%. I don't know. I guess I just wish they focused on the spirits more.
Yep, that's what I'm saying too, which is why I prefer the 2014 one, where you could do more with it. It's because your Bardic Inspiration buffing ability is basically you're never going to use it because it's random.
Yep.
This does feel like a high-level Bardadin subclass.
Yeah.
Like, there is no
does.
reason to, like, go into Bard because also your support stuff isn't going to be as good as the other classes. Anyways, we got our thoughts on it. I think we move on.
Definitely. Next is the Grave Domain Cleric. Okay. I will say this. When it comes to full casters, Cleric is my favorite class because it's a bias. My first ever character was a Trickster Domain Cleric. I had hella fun playing it. I haven't really played full casters since then. The only other time I've ever played a full caster is in that one shot that we played together, which was Tivik Talk. And I think it showed that I'm not really used to full casters because I was getting the sorcerer abilities wrong for twin spell and stuff like that. For me, Cleric is my favorite, so I'm going to be scrutinizing this a lot if it's bad. The Grave Domain concerns itself with the boundary between life and death. To those who tap into this domain's power, death is a foundational, natural, and inevitable part of the multiverse. Why are we getting into the multiverse here? Sure. Such clerics seek to destroy undead and strive to shepherd spirits to the afterlife, whether those spirits want to go or not. The magic of this domain also allows these clerics to stave off death for a time, particularly for those who still have some great work to accomplish in the world. But this is a mere delay of death, not a denial of it, for the grave will always claim its due. Your first level 3 ability is the Circle of Mortality. You gain the ability to manipulate the balance between life and death, granting the following benefits. Pull of Death. Once per turn, you can cast a spell or hit a creature with an attack roll and deal damage to a bloodied creature. The creature takes extra 1d4 necrotic damage. Kinda meh, in my opinion. Not bad, not good. In the middle, it's fine. It's a level 3 ability. Return to Life. When you normally roll 1 or more hit dice to restore HP to a creature at 0 hit points with a spell or channel divinity, don't roll those dice for healing. Instead, use the highest number possible for each dice. For example, instead of restoring 2d4 hit points to a creature at 0, you restore 8. Now this is really good. This is like really, really good. So I think Kit disappeared. So how's everyone's day been? Kit didn't say anything in DMs either, so I'm assuming she's gonna be back. So before I continue reading this, actually I'll just comment on this right now. Return to Life I feel like is a really good ability because, let's be honest, we've always had that moment where we're casting, what's the spell's name? Healing Word to a fallen ally, right? And we get the lowest possible roll. So Return to Life, Healing Word, kind of becomes really good now. Because it is, as the Return to Life talked about, 2d4. 8 HP at level 3 is like really spells. Nice. Yep. Welcome back.
Of course, yeah. Sorry, while you're just reading the abilities, I need to use the restroom.
No worries, no worries. Pull of Death, kinda meh. I don't mind it. It's extra 1d4 necrotic damage, it's fine. It's also once per turn. Fine, no worries about that. Return to Life, really good. You gain the Grave Domain spells at level 3. You get Bone. You get Bane, not Bone. What am I reading? Jesus Christ.
It's like Bone Shaker. That's awesome. Sorry, that's a dumb joke. Continue.
You get Chill Touch, Detect Evil and Good, Gentle Repose, and Ray of Enfeeblement. Does anyone know what that spell is?
I only know Sickness, because I was like the better one.
Let me look it up. Ray of Enfeeblement.
Ray of Enfeeblement.
It's a level 2.
Saving throws. Oh, they have disadvantage until this start. Okay, so on a successful save, they have disadvantage until the start of your next turn. So at least it does something, even if they pass the save. On a failed save, they have disadvantage on strength-based D20 checks. So push, shove, you know.
Yep.
Grapples.
Does this go for? Oh well, it already said attack rolls, so I was gonna say, does this go for strength-based attack rolls as well? Since that is technically a
D20
check.
tests, I do think counts as an attack roll. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And then also you subtract 1d8 from damage. Yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
Enfeeblement's really good. It is concentration, but it's good for second level, is what I'll say.
Yeah, 100%. Honestly, most
higher levels,
second level
probably not
spells
worth it
are
anymore,
kinda...
but decent.
I'll be honest, most second level spells are kind of
Yeah.
At level 5, you get Revivify and Vampiric Touch. Really nice. Level 7, you get Blight and Dispel Evil and Good. At level 9, you get Hold Monster and Raise Dead. All really good spells,
Hold
in my
Monster's
opinion.
pretty sick.
Yep. Your other ability at level 3 is Path to the Grave. As a bonus action, you present your holy symbol and expend the use of your channel divinity to curse one creature you can see within 30 feet of yourself until the start of your next turn. While cursed, the creature has disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws. So this suddenly made Ray of Enfeeblement kind of meh. When you or an ally you can see hits the cursed target with an attack roll, you can end the curse early, no action required, to make the attack deal extra necrotic damage or radiant damage of your choice equal to 1d8 plus your cleric level. Why would I ever use Ray of Enfeeblement when I have this ability? And this ability...
As it lasts only a single turn and takes your channel divinity, this feat seems not great.
Really? Because for me, for level 3 ability, I feel like this is really good, no?
I mean, yeah, until you hit level... No, because you still have Enfeeblement at level 3. It's like super limited in its usage, just because basically if you have the bonus action open and want to use your action for something else, it's good. But I don't know, compared to all other archetypes, actually let me look. Oh yeah, I don't know. Your channel divinity is like a very limited resource, and using it for like a one-turn debuff
is kinda... I get what you're saying.
It's not the greatest use, but like I feel like it's good for the emergency. Like you want to use your action to do like a big heal or like something more impactful, and also the enemy that there's no save to this. It just happens.
Yes.
So it's like a good like backup quick thing you can do, but like in terms of Ray and Enfeeblement, where if they fail to save, it's like this forever. You know, I think this is it's good utility, is what I'll say.
Gotcha. At level 6, you get Sentinel at Death's Door. Also, why did the music become so loud? Give me a sec. Right, there we go. Sentinel at Death's Door. When you or a bloody creature you can see within 30 feet of yourself is hit with an attack roll, you can take a reaction to half the attack's damage. Okay. You can use this feature number of time equal to your wisdom modifier minimum of once. You regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Isn't this just Rhea's ability in our campaign? Am I crazy?
No, you're thinking of the, God, I don't know, it's called protector shield
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
That gives you advantage for the turn. Sorry, disadvantage on attacks against somebody else for a turn.
Ah, I
Where
see.
this is just having damage.
Okay.
You can also, it's a limited use, and
Yeah.
also like, you know, a one reaction per use thing where that's like a one and done kind of thing, whereas the protector is not limited and also lasts the turn, like the whole turn.
That's true. For level 6 ability, I mean, I guess the cleric itself is strong, so they didn't make the subclass abilities really strong. But I don't know. It doesn't feel. How do I say this? It feels about below average.
It's one of the more useful level 6 cleric archetypes abilities, so I'll give it points for that. But I mean, it's cleric's level 6 archetype ability isn't really what makes them crazy, so
Yeah.
I'm fine with this. It's like, yeah, sure.
100%.
It's similar, like, as a level 6 ability, this kind of sucks. But also, like, everything else about the cleric is really good, so...
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever, it works out.
At level 17, you get Divine Reaper. Your deep connection to this domain renders you a hallowed harbinger? Yeah, harbinger.
Yes, that is correct.
Of death, granting you the following benefits. Enhanced Necromancy. When you cast a spell of level 5 or lower from the Necromancy school, that targets one creature or a spell from the Grave Domain spells table, you expand use of Channel Divinity to target a second creature within the spell's range. If the spell requires costly or consumed materials, you must provide material components for each target. Is this just twin spell? Am I just twin spell with a very specific school of spells? Or am I just crazy?
Yes, but twin spell was like very specific in its usage.
That's true. You also get...
This can technically use... Actually, can it? No, this I think this is literally twin spell.
Right?
Yep.
And then Keeper of Souls, you get when an enemy dies within 60 feet of you, or one creature you can see within 60 feet of yourself. Within 60 feet of you, or one creature you can see within 60 feet of yourself, regain hit points equal to 3 times your cleric level. You can't use this feature if you have the incapacitated condition. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest. Hi, Evan! Again, it's okay. I think
it's bad for level 17, but it's still useful, and once again, the level 17 archetype ability isn't what makes clerics one of the best classes in the game.
Yeah, it's the fact they have Spirit Guardians.
It's the fact that they have Spirit Guardians and like 3 different spells they can all use at the same time that just deals constant damage over and over again.
Basically.
And still have an action to heal your dying allies. God, what was it? It was a Z-Vasha thing. Talking about like a feat that like does some healing. It's like, or you could be a cleric and like, oh, did you attack 2 times on your turn? Well, I'm passively dealing 66 points of damage plus my cleric level every single turn with an action left over to do this. And he claps his hands and like there's like a guy next to him like, oh, I'm alive.
Deals 66 passive damage, claps his hand, does like 300 healing to the entire party, 300 points of healing divided to the entire party, and the enemy is just looking at it like, so you're telling me the last 6 turns meant nothing?
Oh yeah. It really is like, if you want to sort of like clown on an inexperienced DM, you can play the cleric that does that and uses the action to heal your enemies, so you can just beat them up with your passive damage that you're just doing regardless.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Honestly, as a subclass, I'm
You know,
I'm
Josuke style.
Yep.
Now you can't complain about anything anymore, right? Beat them.
As a class, I'm gonna give it like a 7, maybe 8 out of 10. It makes sense. The subclass makes sense. It isn't busted, but it doesn't need to be because the cleric itself is. It feels.
Yeah.
It feels good. Like. It's not amazing. I wouldn't pick this when like every other cleric subclass exists, but it's good for what it's trying to be. 100%.
From what I will say, I do think this is a 10 out of 10 subclass.
Ooh, explain.
Because I don't think like the subclass jumping out and you say like I want to be this always is like, I don't think that's good design, so to speak.
Yeah.
Unless it's like the flavor that speaks to you. I like it like this because it's so far, it is within the realm of every other cleric archetype, and I think that's good.
Yeah, 100%.
The reason why I say this is because like this is a revised 2014 subclass.
Yes, it is.
And a little bit of the issue with the 2014 cleric subclasses is that there's like 20 of them. So despite the fact that they're all within like the same realm of viability, just because it's the cleric class that is very viable, there is like some just straight up better than others that you would pick over this one.
Life domain.
Yep, pretty much. And I do think this gives a whole bunch of new things. Like every ability I think is just strictly buffed up from what it used to be. Like I believe the level 6 only worked on crits, and the level 3 just allows you to also just do more damage, which is neat. Along with the fact that in 2024 there's like 5 or 4 archetypes rather than 20 to choose from.
Yes.
I feel like when I look at the cleric archetypes, they all look enticing, they all look neat, they all look like they can add their own spin on what I want to play as a cleric, which is good because like in 2014 it kind of didn't matter just because of how strong cleric was. It was usually like if you haven't really played cleric too much, you would either just go life or war depending if you want to hit more or heal more. And then if you're experienced in the cleric class, it doesn't matter because you can pick whatever you want, and the class itself is going to like fill for any like minor unoptimizations that the archetype gives you. But nowadays I think things are good. Things are like the archetypes when compared between themselves feel like they each bring their own substance to the table.
Definitely.
And I think that this adds to it. Like if they just brought over Grave as it was, it would be underpowered compared to the others.
No, definitely.
But with its buffs, I do think it's good. You know, it's up for consideration with all the other archetypes, and I think that is good design. That not one archetype stands out over the rest.
Also, this is gonna be a hot take. Don't bring Tempest Domain back, please. Just don't. Just no.
Is what I'll say. I feel like if they ever make like an elemental evil sort of book again for 2024, it's probably the archetype they use for clerics.
Oh, for sure. 100%. The reason I don't want it back is Tempest Domain Cleric was... I don't know if you feel this, but I feel like it was mostly used for just
multi-classing
and just getting that max lightning damage on like a sorcerer or something.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
When did they get that ability or that class feats?
Level.
Was that just like on?
They got it at level 1, I believe, or level 2.
Okay, I think it would be fine. It would be level 1 if it was you know, an archetype feat for cleric. I think it's fine if they have to dip into level 3, because then it's whatever.
I guess that's
Just
also
because
true.
cleric archetypes are level 3 now.
Yeah, the fact
Level
that they
1,
moved,
yeah, you...
they moved every archetype to level 3, and I'll be honest, I was one of the people who didn't like it. Now I like it a little bit more. Because I feel like it feels better as a player when, you know, your entire party is getting that one specific archetype which really gets them going. You aren't hitting level 3 and going, oh cool, I got another extra spell slot. I already had my archetype set at level 1, right?
Yeah.
Also, hi Junior. I feel like level 3 makes sense. Now let's get into my favorite subclass in this UA entirely, the Hollow Warden Ranger. And I got a lot to talk about this, because this is how you break a melee ranger, the subclass. At least it fits my playstyle. It's not for everyone, but this fits my playstyle a lot. Legends tell that the most ancient and fearsome terrors lurk deep within the old places of the earth. Unfathomable. Why can I not say that word? Unfathomable and bloodthirsty entities of fallow soil and sharpened claws. Hollow Wardens venerate and draw power from such beings, transforming themselves into similarly merciless and monstrous guardians that stalk along jagged coastlines, across steep mountain crags, and through other dark and wild places. At level 3, you get the Hollow Warden spells. At level 3, you get Wrathful Smite. At level 5, you get Spike Growth. At level 9, you get Phantom Steed. At level 13, you get Hallucinatory Terrain. And at level 17, you get Awaken. Now, Wrathful Smite and Hallucinatory Terrain. Why can I not speak today? Did I read too much? Jesus Christ. I love it already. I absolutely love it already. Spike Growth, amazing. Phantom Steed, for this subclass is kind of meh. Overall as a spell, amazing. You, at level 3, your main subclass feature is Wrath of the Wild. You draw on strange and ancient horrors of the land for power. When you cast Hunter's Mark, you transform, gaining the powerful benefits for the duration of the spell. You get Ancient Armor, you gain bonus to your AC equal to your Wisdom modifier, minimum of +1, your body is wreathed in rotten bark or beastly bristles. You get Unnerving Aura, when an enemy starts its turn within 10 feet of you, it makes a Wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC. On a failed save, it can either take an action or bonus action this turn, not both. Your shadowy lengths and twists, your shadow lengthens and twists around you, or sprout untangled growths like bloody antlers or putrid fangs. Now I'm gonna get into this right away. Level 3 Ranger, studded leather armor. You took, let's say, Magic Initiate, and you got the shield spell. You have 18 Dexterity, 16 Wisdom, which isn't impossible at level 3. Honestly, very feasible. And you get your Constitution as your third ability. You, let's say, have a short sword and a shield. With that, you have...
If you have a shield, you can't use the shield spell unless you take also the War Mage.
That's true. So you need level
Class
4. You would have to go level 4 and take War Mage. But at level 3, you have 21 AC with your shield equipped, 19 without your shield equipped, and without your shield equipped, if you cast the shield spell, you go up to 24. Who the fuck is hitting you? I will tell you right now, At level 3, nobody. Nobody's touching you. Nothing. Like, it's so good. I love this. This is very clearly a melee ranger subclass. It's dark, it's brooding, and you are untouchable, which is how I like to play my rangers. I like to play high AC characters most of the time, and like Izart, as we talked about, was made to be untouchable with the blur spell and a 21 AC. This one also has 21 AC off-rip without blur at level 3. You can't really cast blur with this because you're focusing on your concentration on Hunter's Mark. So at level 4 you get War Mage. You can now cast the shield spell. Grapples are insanely good. The fact that you're forcing anyone who fails a wisdom saving throw to your spell save DC, and you already have a high wisdom because you want it for your AC anyway, so your spell save DC is actually decent now. And now they can either take an action or a bonus action. This is crazy. I love it. Let me get your opinions.
Spoiler alert too for the futures on the grapple with spike growth and fears. Later on, the fear also does damage too, so.
Yeah, exactly. They made a grapple rogue. Which is untouchable. I love it.
Rogue Barbarian is no longer the AC class with like that's hard to kill. It's now Rogue Ranger. Also, this is Ranger, not Rogue, by the way.
Yeah. This is the Hollow Warden Ranger. Finally a Ranger you would play, Lizard. Yep. You were talking about it when we were...
our class, yeah, I can't believe you say that.
When we were talking about the other Ranger, the Winter Ranger, I feel like this subclass alone will get people to try out the Ranger and realize how underpowered it is.
Yeah. Damn, Lizard out here, he's like crazy about the fucking necromancy big zombie archetype, and now the grapple archetype. Wild. And those are the only two characters I've ever seen you play.
At level?
Literally, I'm calling you out right here, right now. In our Pathfinder game, your first character was a necromancer, and the second character was a guy who basically grappled, if not tripped. And CC'd.
Ah, yes, my
There is Shadow Step. Okay, Shadow Step is like super tertiary. There's like one guy, two guys.
Rhea, respectfully, play something else beside a fighter and let's talk, okay?
Nah, fighter's fine. Fighter's fine. Keep playing fighters. You're only human after all.
Oh, I love that. Third was going to be a Shadow Mage.
That's fair.
By the way,
like I'm just talking about a guy who plays like the same one or two things, maybe three, and here comes the girl who plays the same one thing.
Okay,
like it's fine.
To be fair to Rhea, she did start out with Bonnie, which was a rogue, and after 7 months of playing rogue, she did finally learn how sneak attack works.
No, she didn't. I bet we can ask her right now. She won't know.
I did recently. I did recently. Yesterday or the other day, we were talking, and I was she was talking about playing rogue in Baldur's Gate, and I was like, really? How do you get sneak attack? And she actually did say it correctly.
Nice. Good job.
Only because of Astarion? Rhea, heck you! You played Bonnie for 7 months, girl, okay? 7 months of Rogue, and you didn't know how to sneak attack. It drove me crazy.
But we all have our tendencies for characters. Like, I can't say, ooh, Rhea only plays fighter, when for the last 3 campaigns, I played literally the same character.
Okay, to be fair, for the last 3 campaigns, you've been trying to play the same character, but the campaign has been changing. because of circumstances. So
Yeah.
I'll give you I'll give you that. It's not that you were playing the same character, it's that you finally got to play the same character. 7 months
Oh,
of Rogue
to put
wasted.
on that, Rhea,
I can't.
I will say, like, Rogue is just fighter with, like, some salt. That is to say, it's basically like a fighter that just does damage in, like, a different way. It's like a fighter, basically.
Yeah, Rogue Novas.
So, like, you might as well just play a fighter, too. Like, there's not much of a difference. It wasn't until good old Pathfinder 2, like, reading up on that, where rogues feel a lot more rogue-like in terms of, like, in combat kind of stuff.
Yeah, different way to use your extra attack. You don't extra attack, you just burst them down with one attack.
Yeah, instead of attacking twice for 2d6 each, I attack once for 46. There you go.
Basically, yeah, exactly. Sneak attack is your extra attack? Exactly. Alright. Level 7. This is the reason I love this class, by the way. Level 3, amazing. Level 7, also amazing. You gain bonus to con saves equal to your wisdom modifier. So now you have 3 really good saving throws in your dexterity, wisdom, and your con. It's just like the entire issue with a high AC character is saving throws being a thing. And now half of your saving throws are actually really good.
I'll say the con saving there doesn't really happen in terms of, like, things that are damaging you. This is for that you don't lose your hunter's mark.
That is also true, yeah.
So you get a bonus to it.
In addition, once per turn, when you hit a creature with an attack roll, while you're transformed using Wrath of the Wild, you regain a number of HP equal to 1d10 plus your wisdom modifier, provided you are bloodied when you hit. So, remind me if I'm wrong, but bloodied is half HP or below, right? Or is
Yes, bloodied is half.
Okay, so it's not quarter.
I think is what I'll say.
Okay.
It's weird. Bloodied isn't usually, like, something that comes up a lot in the text of abilities, because it usually is like this alt ruling where things happen when something is bloodied.
Yep.
So seeing it in, like, the main rules is a little like, how does bloodied work again?
Yeah, exactly. And it's been coming up a lot today. Bloodied is, like, important for these subclasses, apparently.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate.
Makes sense for the, you know, the undead subclasses.
Yep. 5
That's
is
neat,
half? Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
So,
Good to know.
basically, you can still dump your constitution, worst case scenario, right? You're not gonna really dump your constitution, but let's say you dump your constitution. You're rarely getting hit, and when you do, you have a way to heal it. And this is not like, on a long rest. This is just once per turn when you hit a creature.
Yeah. As
So-
long as you're bloodied.
Yep, so it's like really good. At level 11, you get Rot and Violence. Your dedication to Eldritch Forest begins to alter you further. When you transform using Wrath of the Wild, you gain the following additional benefits. Eerie Aura, when your creature fails its saving throw against you, it also takes necrotic, poison, or psychic damage, your choice, equal to your ranger level. The damage ignores resistance. It's fine. It's not bad. It's not good. It's not bad. It's fine. And then you get this is the one I like from this one. Strangling Roots. When you hit a creature with an attack roll using a weapon, you can activate sap or slow mastery property in addition to a different mastery property that you're using with that weapon. So you get Vex plus sap or slow with a short sword. And then you also have your extra attack. And you can nick. So you get like 3 attacks, 2 of them at advantage, and the enemy is either sapped or slowed. I feel like it's really good. Level 15, you get Ancient Endurance. You become wholly suffused with the forest ancient power, granting you the following benefits. Persistent Hunt. If you drop to 0 hit points while transformed using Wrath of the Wild, and don't die outright, you can expand the level 4 plus spell slot, no action required. Your HP then instead changes to the amount equal to 5 times the level of the spell slot expended. And Timeless, you have immunity to the exhaustion condition. For level 15, exhaustion doesn't really come up, but the fact that you can just say, no, I didn't die, heck you. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Kinda good.
Yeah. Level 15 Ranger, level 3 Warlock, level 2 Sorcerer. If you know, you know.
Hexblade, level 2 Sorcerer? You don't get subclass, I'm assuming it's just for spell slots?
Well, I think they used to do level 2 Warlock, but it might be level 3 Warlock, level 2 Sorcerer, depending.
Gotcha.
Also, this isn't good, but if you know, you know.
Gotcha. I do not, sadly. So overall, as a subclass, I'm gonna say it. This might be me being very Ranger biased. 10 out of 10. If you disagree, you can suck my... Anyway. What do you think about the subclass?
With my Ranger bias, I'd call this a 7 out of 10. Without
Really?
the bias, it would probably just be a 6.
Really? Explain. I'm interested.
It's too good. It's like clearly the best archetype.
Yeah, by far. Not even close. Nothing comes close.
By far. And, you know, for the same reasons why I gave a Grave Cleric a 10 out of 10, I don't think it's good balancing. Just like, here's a archetype so powerful that you would never choose any of the other ones because they're terrible in comparison. It's just not good balancing, in my opinion. Other than that, there's a few things as well. This is sort of a flavor thing that I think is weird. I don't mind how the Winter Ranger does its Hunter's Mark, but it does feel weird how this Hunter's Mark is like a transformation. Like you Hunter's Mark something and then you transform, but then if you lose that Hunter's Mark, you untransform. It feels like that's how Druids work, which makes sense for Wild Shape, but it's just kind of weird how it's like connected to Hunter's Mark. Of course, that can just be like flavored differently or something, but it's also kind of weird that like it's just so weird how they did it. So I do appreciate having this bulky Ranger archetype, but it's so weird how it's concentrated onto a concentration spell. So like you're in the front lines getting hits, but also you could lose concentration, and when you do, you lose everything.
Yeah, 100%.
So like it just feels weird that it's like this.
Well, I guess
right.
the main thing they're thinking about is the character isn't meant to get hits because of the high AC it has. Yeah, and then caster cast Magic Missile, exactly. 100%.
Well, yeah, something casts a spell, they take a half damage, which still triggers it, or if they do get hit. Because, like, if the point of this is, like, it's good because you'll never take damage ever, you just built an invincible archetype, which isn't good. Like, there's still ways around it, but, like, the ways around it, like, can shut this build off completely, potentially, which is like, huh?
Yeah, it either does something extremely well, or gets countered extremely hard. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, one intelligence saving throw, and you're now...
Yeah. This doesn't, like, lower the score too much. This is just, like, it's kind of a weird design flaw. I would, like, add this like a lot later down the line for rogue subclasses, just because it's fine to be a little weird. But like, you know, when there's only like 4 right now,
Yeah.
5 because one of them is UA, it's kind of weird that we're going into the weird ones now, and I still think there's like more opportunity to create good ones. And then I don't like the level 7 ability because I feel like for a lot of ranger stuff. Oh, we'll get with this first. So it feels like the 3rd and like 11th ones are switched, which makes sense for a defensive ranger archetype. Mostly like you have like your damage thing, your way to deal additional damage on your level 3 skill, and then a more defensive skill later on. And this one just reverses it because that makes sense. You have an incredible defensive capabilities now, and then just like you know, a little bit of extra damage when you get to level 11 when they fail, or whenever they get frightened from your ability.
Yep.
And then of course, this is sort of like, I would call it like damage because it's like whenever you attack. But yeah, you add your sap or slow to your effects.
Yep.
To your attacks.
Also, technically, they don't get the frightened condition, which is kind of.
Oh,
yeah.
That's right. Yeah, sorry. I think like that's what you get because like, oh yeah, AoE frightened. It's like an AoE slow effect. It's like what I call this because like that's what it is. You're right. I was thinking of the Frankenstein because that frightens as an AoE at later levels. Same thing though. When they fail the aura, they get damage, which still goes with what I'm talking about. A little bit less consistent because they can pass. But also it's you know your damaging ability as a ranger.
Yes.
Swapped those, which makes sense. You get your defensive first, and then your damage later. Makes sense for the defensive archetype. I don't like 7 because 7 is usually like the utility tool for ranger archetypes, like more movement, teleportation, stuff like that. And this, it's what makes it feel like, I guess, you know, UA and all that. What makes it feel like a homebrew thing. I see this a lot of homebrews where like every single class ability helps the class in its like its main role.
Yes.
When you know there's a lot of the filler is usually like just like additional stuff, helpful stuff, good stuff, like teleporting, really good.
Yep.
But this just feels like just more stacking tall, which I kind of don't like for balance reasons. It like continues to ride home that this is just the best ranger archetype.
Definitely. This
so
also
because
makes
of that, I think
me
it's
wonder,
a bit poorly balanced.
Yeah, this makes me wonder, like, is this the new benchmark for Ranger, right? Or is this just gonna be that one broken subclass that's like insanely broken?
I don't want it to be.
I also don't want it to be.
Because it's the 5th subclass in, you know? Like,
yeah, 100%. Like,
that being said, my favorite class, Horizon Walker, isn't out yet, so if this becomes the benchmark, I'm fine with that, because then my favorite subclass will be hitting the benchmark.
You see, that's what I'm hoping, because this makes Ranger good. Like, let's be honest. Ranger is mediocre at best.
It's dog shit. It's just outright dog shit.
Dog shit on average.
I did the math. I can tell you the numbers.
Yeah, you did. I know you did. So, the fact that this is a class you would pick, like, naturally, a subclass you would pick naturally, and would make you want to play Ranger, makes me very happy. And I genuinely hope this is the benchmark. And if this is the benchmark, this makes me, as you said, extremely excited for the subclasses to come. Especially Horizon Walker, because this makes me now wonder how they're gonna implement Hunter's Mark into Horizon Walker.
Yeah. But I don't want them to be this strong. But I do, and you know, the last UA was like this too, so I think this is the new precedent.
Mm-hmm.
But just employing Hunter's Mark into the archetype feats so that Hunter's Mark is good.
I mean,
and doesn't
they
become
have
good
to.
at the end of a campaign, because like level 12 is when you get your first Hunter's Mark upgrade.
I mean, they had to make Hunter's Mark good for subclasses because they made the class identity Hunter's Mark. And as I said,
but like
if this is how they're gonna run it,
first 4 archetypes,
the first 4 archetypes are dog
aren't
shit.
like that.
The first and that's why we call this class dog shit for that exact reason.
They're okay. It's not the archetypes that make the class dog shit. The archetypes are what makes the class like playable. Gloomstalker is okay.
Gloomstalker is fine.
It's like the second best one.
Beastmaster's bad.
Hunter.
We talked about this.
I think Beastmaster was okay.
Well, it takes bonus action.
Missed something.
It takes bonus action, and you're using your bonus action for your Hunter's Mark most of the time.
But that's fine, unless like you're constantly switching the Hunter's Mark. I crunched the numbers, and having the extra body does help. Like,
of course it does.
I'll accept that. Having the extra body means like not reaching maximum super cool damage numbers. That's fine, because like you're not picking Beastmaster for that. You're picking every other archetype.
Yes.
In fact, I'd say Beastmaster would be the best for like ranged.
Honestly, the fact that they haven't added what's its name? Not the Hive Ranger. I forget the full name of it.
Stormkeeper.
The what keeper? You're right, but my hearing.
Swarmkeeper, I believe, is the ranger.
Yeah, the fact they haven't added Swarmkeeper, which is one of the probably one of the most played ranger subclasses, is weird to me. Like, they added Gloomstalker, they added Beastmaster, they added Hunter. Where's my Swarmkeeper?
I feel like those 3 are people play those more.
Really?
Yeah, especially Gloomstalker. Gloomstalker was like the power one, so I think that was like the most used.
Very fair.
Hunter, I think, is second, just because that's like the most
generic,
useful with utilities wise. Helps a lot of people. And then Beastmaster was sort of the generic one, just because like, oh, you got a pet animal.
Yeah, that's true.
Kind of thing.
Also, because we talked about the how excited we are if this is the benchmark for the upcoming subclasses, with what they did to Purple Dragon Knight and seeing this subclass, and even the Winter subclass, the Winter subclass, yes, it feels weaker than this, but it still doesn't feel bad in my opinion. I think
this is too strong is the issue.
Too strong. Yeah,
I think Winter is fine.
Yeah, exactly. I am very curious about Drake Warden when they add it. If they add it.
Drake Warden would be cool. I like that a lot.
Because they gave Purple Dragon Knights an actual dragon that grows with them. I would love a Drake companion that can grow and be good eventually. And not be like a Drake-themed Beastmaster. Drake Warden was... It was good for what it was, but...
I think you're kicking Beastmaster down. It's probably like the worst, but like... compared to all of them, it's fine. In fact, I'd say it's better than the Fae one.
Beastmaster was much better in 2014. I'm kicking Beastmaster down in 2024.
That is... the worst take I've ever heard in my life.
I feel like Beastmaster's better then. Because you don't have to focus on your Hunter's Mark.
Absolute. Well, yeah, but you also don't have to do that here. Like,
you don't, but then the entire class is also kind of designed on it, which is the issue. Where 2014
it's designed if you're playing a damage like martial class.
That's also
in which
true.
case you're not picking Beastmaster in the first place. If you're picking Beastmaster, you don't care that you're not being Hunter's Marking everything.
That's also true. That's also true. You're right. When you say it like that, yeah.
2014 Beastmaster was 100% dog shit. Like, unless you were picking the snakes, your beast wasn't doing anything. It's like the snakes and giant crab. Everything else was not worth taking because it scaled awfully.
It did. The scaling was genuinely horrible. I guess this is me being a little bit CR pilled.
Also, 2014, use your action to attack with your beast.
Wait, really?
It was so terrible.
Oh my god, you can use your action to verbally command it. I just read it. Oh no, you're right. Never mind. You're right. Ugh.
Like, I would pick other things over current Beastmaster, but like it's an improvement. At least I will choose it, right? Like it's up for consideration.
Yes, 100%. 100%. No.
And just one more thing for
This was me being CR pilled and like the ranger in the first campaign being a Beastmaster ranger. I like the character a lot, so I guess I didn't really think about the mechanics too much. But yeah, you're right. Reading it,
it's fine.
rereading
I mean,
it,
flavor-wise,
really
I love it. Even if I do pick the snakes, I think having the pet snake with like ranger that shoots a snake out of your sleeve is awesome.
Oh hell yeah!
But like, ooh, is it like if you just like take a look at like the rules, it's like so optimal. It does like drive me away from it. Like,
yeah, you're right.
I would still pick in 2014 Spirit Bard, even if it is unoptimal, because it's like not that poor. I would still pick Grave Cleric compared to the others because it's not that poor. This one was that poor,
no,
would like
deter
me away from it.
100%. I rereading it, you're 100% right.
And one more thing that I don't like about Hollow Warden.
Yes.
And this is sort of like it's sort of my pushback for like you saying if people play, you're happy if this is why people play Ranger. I don't mind it as this much, but it's so powerful, but also so specific for a certain type of Ranger. It is for melee, it is for an AC type of build.
Yes.
And like, I like damaging Rangers, and this just like, this doesn't make me defer me, but it does make me feel like, damn, I'm doing jack shit. And like, if I picked this other Ranger and played it a different way, I'd be like,
doing more
super
damage.
duper strong.
Yep.
It's why I have to like put the addendum for Ranger as a bad class in 2014, because it's one of the most broken classes if you're the dual wielding crossbow expert who uses all of your spell slots to summon 30 wolves. But that's such a specific way to play the game that I don't really lump that in with playing Ranger.
Yeah,
it's not Warren isn't to that extreme, but it is definitely like a specific sort of play style.
Yes, it is.
That is just stronger than all the other play styles and all the other archetypes, which makes me think lesser of the class or the archetype.
That's very fair. As I said, because I like to play high AC Rangers, this gets me very excited, and I very much love this subclass. But also, yes, it is leagues above, and genuinely leagues above any other subclass that the Ranger has, especially if you're going for a build like this, that it is very much broken. I am still gonna say 10 out of 10 because it's how I like to play it, but I understand where you're coming from 100%.
Yeah, I would also like to play high AC Ranger, and although this is like in the other direction of it, like, I was like, I'd rather have my 16 be like an 18 or something, and you're like fucking 25.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, for me, when I say high AC, 20 is where in my head high AC starts. It's not realistic, right? Most of the times it's like 18 realistically is where high AC really starts. But I'm so used to building that high AC shield wielding Ranger where I'm like, no, 20. 20 is the minimum in my head. But it's also not realistic. But with this subclass, 21 becomes the base. And that is genuinely too much.
I don't like or shield wielding Rangers because it does force you into the War Mage feat. Just so you can, use spells while you do it. It's also kind of weird because then you can't like cast Hunter's Mark until. Oh no, sorry, that's not somatic. So yeah, never mind. It works out still fine. But
Well,
yeah.
Lizard, you don't even need full plate. The build I talked about, the 21 AC build, is studded leather armor. It's just a base
So Max is not,
studded
like,
leather armor.
you still probably want like high dex just so you can like
Yeah,
switch
100%.
to a bow if you need it.
Well, that build
and also
allows
rangers
you to do that.
aren't plate proficient, right? It's only light and medium.
I think so.
So you need like another.
I think so. Yeah. Let me check. Core ranger traits.
Oh yeah, four rangers. What you mean? That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I would prefer if like a ranger at base could reach 18.
Yeah.
But like 17 is like around their max.
Really? Because even with
I mean,
medium...
5 dex plus 2 from the armor is 17.
Oh, but you're not going shield. Okay. Because I was like, in my head, I'm instantly going shield.
Yeah, well then when you're shield, it's 19. It's like...
Yeah.
Sure, but also you need to be a war mage, and also... Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, I get you.
I just wish the ranger defensive feats weren't like... Didn't come at level 13. When I'm already
right.
dead or the campaign ended.
You're right. I'm sad. 2024 Ranger makes me sad. This subclass makes me happy, but the 2024 Ranger still makes me sad. I'm sorry.
Well, the only thing that makes me sad about 2024 Ranger is A, like the past level 10 feats are like dog shit.
Yep.
It's like fine. Cause like, you know, the campaigns end at level 13, but like just reading it because like, I don't know. I feel like in play Ranger is fine, but like just reading it with like knowledge is like eh. Like the other thing that makes me feel bad about it is the fact that there's nothing new with it. It's just like everything about it is like Tasha improvements. Whereas like, and I'll say this a billion times, monks have cunning actions. You know, like fighters can have more heal, second wins and stuff. Like everyone else got like more cool stuff, and Ranger is just like the same thing I've been playing for years already.
Yeah. Why do they hate you? We don't know.
Right, you don't even understand the half of it. Alf doesn't understand the half of it for the most part. I've crunched the numbers. I've pulled down like the spreadsheets. It fucking sucks, dude.
Yeah. Kit send me some of like the details that she researched, and I was looking at it, and I was like, no, say it ain't so. No,
I can mathematically tell you why Ranger is a terrible class.
Yep.
Why? And we'll get to this. Why Warlock is a better Ranger in everything the Ranger does in combat, and the UA Hexblade makes it even better.
Yeah.
So I play Horizon Walker Maisha in your campaign.
Yep.
In 2024, I would never do that. It would be a Hexblade. Because Hexblade is better now.
100%. I haven't read Hexblade yet.
It's a terrible Gish tax, though. Your spells are dog shit.
No. I'm gonna fight back on this. If there's a Gish tax, why is Hexblade what it is? It is because of Warlock. I got the instant reply.
Hexblade. It's new Hexblade.
I got the reply.
Lux 5e's pushed. Yep, pushed. But like Hexblades or like Gish got better. Dude, new Eldritch Knight is like awesome.
Yes. Oh my god. Yes.
New Arcane Trickster is awesome.
Paladin's
always been Paladin.
Arcane Trickster is alright. I feel like it's because the Rogue is awesome that the Arcane Trickster is awesome.
Fair enough, but like, you would never ever consider Arcane Trickster. I think you would now.
That is fair. Yes, that is very fair.
I would say if we weren't about to talk about Phantom and Assassin still, the more pushed.
Yep. Well, we're right now gonna talk about Shadow Sorcery, which is...
Are we? I thought next on the docket is
Is it not?
Phantom.
Oh, it is Phantom. Never mind, I scrolled down a bit too much. Oh, I'm not excited for this. Okay, so for those who don't know, there are two classes that I hate in D&D. Two classes. Rogue, because I hate rogues, because they're the special child of WotC, and wizards for that exact same reason. Like,
Dude, Final Fantasy XIV Black Mage moment.
what?
When the lead designer of the game is a Black Mage main.
Yeah, it's like, I feel like those two are the special childs, right? They're like they're like the last child of any family. They're like extremely doted upon. Everything is given to them for some fucking reason. That's why I will never play a wizard. The only time you will ever find me playing a wizard if I'm playing Chronomancy. And that is the only time, because, let's be honest, time magic, beautiful. I add
I don't know,
Warlock. I feel like Warlock is right below them.
It's so weird. Warlock is pushed 100% now.
Now? I haven't checked the 2024 Warlock, so I can't talk too much.
Fucking... I feel like it's also like, I haven't seen like fully on it, but like I feel like it's 100% like melee warlocks. Like Hex Blade is now super huge, and they get a third attack now.
Shut up! No, you're kidding.
I've said this a billion times. Of course, this is why I say Warlock is like the reason why Warlock is a better archer than Ranger is because you're on par with Ranger the entire time until you hit level 11 and you get a third attack.
Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, they just
and that's in terms of damage. You still have all of your fucking other invocations and like good spells to do even more.
Yeah, they just hate us. They just hate us. I don't know what to say. They just hate us.
I feel like I will push back on this a little bit when you said Rogue and Wizard are like the WotC good stuff.
Yes.
Because like those classes are really good and pushed from the get.
Yes,
they were just
exactly.
Kind of like,
exactly.
Like they were so good that like not a lot of good stuff happened with them. They're like, yeah, this is all right, and then it's still just like a good class off the get. They don't feel pushed through like other sort of books and materials.
No, they don't
like
need
you would say from a favorite child.
They don't need.
They're just good from the get go. It was somebody's favorite class from the design team.
Yeah.
And then there you go.
No, they got every
that being
gift
said,
at birth. They got every gift they needed at birth.
I think Wizard's fine, and I don't know about Rogue, because I need to play Rogue 2024, because, like, for Rogue, for the longest time, it was a push class, and because of that, the archetypes aren't that good, for the most part. Gotcha. And then in 2024 Rogue got better, because, like, if they don't want to do a lot of damage, they can instead just, like, impose disabilities and debuffs.
Yes.
And then the archetypes also got better. It's like, it's crazy. Like, am I missing something? Do I just need to playtest this? I feel like Rogue is broken.
No. Here, I'll tell you right now, you don't need to playtest it. Because the one time you played Rogue in our one-shot, oh, trust me, I felt it. Oh, trust me, I felt it. The fact that you were just giving blind and, like, to the creature in front of you, I was just looking at it going like, well, I guess I just cast the spell now.
Yeah. So, it was a one-shot for 2 players, so I had, like, the little DMPC to support.
Yep.
There was, like, a lot of utilities already, so I just played a rogue for some dex stuff, and just, like, I'm not gonna do damage because I'm the support character. Instead, I'll fucking blind them with guys every single turn.
Yep.
And poison them and, like, make them just debuff every single turn.
Just make them regret ever existing near you.
It's like the life is a resource. If I can't kill them with my damage, I'll just debuff. Yes, so now instead of Rogue can use their dice instead of dealing damage to impose debuffs.
Yep, so they make sneak
attack
better. And it doesn't even,
like, take away from the damage. They can still just, like, kill something if they want to. It's, like, strictly better because they have more options.
Yep.
Which I think is fine, giving the Rogue more options, sure. You know? I think considering the amount of stuff other classes got, I think that's fine. And then, like, Assassin's a good class now. They took away all the limitations from Arcane Trickster.
Yep.
And then we're about to talk about Phantom.
Oh yeah, we are. So, let me allow this. There we go. Alright. Rogue Phantom. Some rogues walk along the veil between life and death, shepherding opponents to the grave and slipping through the world as undetectable as a spirit. In these pursuits, a rogue might discover a mystical connection to death itself. Such an individual becomes immersed in negative energy, infusing their strikes with deathly energy, and stealing knowledge from souls who have passed on. Thieves' guilds value rogues of this persuasion? Why? What? They're highly effective.
They're just trying to be fancy
Yeah.
with their wording. Yeah, it's persuasion.
If they said profession, I'd be like, yeah, for sure, but sure, whatever. Thieves' guilds value rogues of this persuasion as highly effective information gatherers and spies. Also, can I say this? For this UA specifically, I feel like they're trying to be so extra with the wording. More so than usual.
I mean, yeah, they're breaking out the thesaurus.
Yeah. At level 3, you get Wails from the Grave. Oh boy, do you get it. Immediately after you deal your sneak attack damage to a creature on your turn, you can target a second creature you can see within 30 feet of the first creature, roll half the number of sneak attack dice, round up, and the second creature takes necrotic damage equal to the roll as wails of dead momentarily sound around them. You can use this feature equal to your dexterity modifier minimum once, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. You have got to be kidding me. I think we talked about this before. Why is Rogue attacking multiple times? Multiple different creatures. Like, mind you, already Nova-ing the first creature with your sneak attack damage. And then you're looking at the second creature going, you know what? Take some damage too. Why? Because you just existed near him.
Yeah, it's definitely... I think it's fine to have, like, an archetype that, like, ooh, you can do AoE damage now. But it's not AoE damage, it's additional damage.
Yeah, this is Nova plus the AoE. You're not getting rid of the Nova. The Nova is still there.
I'd be like, it's like, oh, you can split your sneak attack between certain creatures. But like, no, it's just like, fuck this other guy too.
You see, this is what I mean when I say they're the special child. This is exactly what I mean. Why?
Well, okay, alright, but like 10 years later they get a good class. I'm
Yeah.
I feel like that doesn't hold up to that argument.
Okay, but they were already one of the best classes base, right? Like, we
Yeah.
talked about this.
But once
the
again,
cleric's broken, so the subclasses are kind of meh. The rogue is broken. What is this?
Yeah. Once again, this only started happening 10 years later, you know?
Fair. Very fair. You also get Whispers of the Dead at level 3. When you finish a short or long rest, you can choose one skill or tool proficiency you lack and gain it, as a ghostly presence shares its knowledge with you. Because rogues already don't have enough proficiencies and expertise. No, they definitely do not. Nope, not at all. Nope.
Honestly, it's fine. I'd call this diminishing return. Like, you know, a fighter getting like a 2 to 3 is like pretty decent, but like a rogue going from 6 to 7, like whatever.
Yeah.
If you don't already have everything you need, like what's...
like...
Sure.
No, it's diminishing returns, 100%, but it's on top of the Nova AoE. So it's like, what's the reason? No, I hate rogues too much. I can't be unbiased. I'm sorry.
Well, for rogue archetypes, it's true, like they get a special combat ability of some sort. Of course, this one's really good, but and then they get like the secondary sort of just small bonus.
Also, when I'm being
which is what this one is.
Too salty on the rogue, do call me out on it because I can feel myself getting salty already. Level 9, you get Tokens of the Departed. The spirits of the dead are drawn to you, and echoes of their past lives magically manifest as a strange, curious, with resonant power. When you finish a long rest, you gain 2 soul trinkets. Each soul trinket is a tiny object. The DM determines the trinket's form, or has you roll on the trinkets table in the player's handbook to generate it. These trinkets last until you finish another long rest, at which point they disintegrate. If you ever move more than 30 feet from a trinket, the trinket immediately teleports to you, appearing somewhere on your person. The number of soul trinkets you gain when you finish a long rest increases when you reach rogue levels 13 to 3 trinkets and 17 to 4 trinkets. Using trinkets in the following ways. Death's Kneel. When you deal sneak attack damage on your turn, you can expend one soul trinket and immediately use Wails from the Grave without expanding the use of that feature. The expended trinket is destroyed. So they buffed the Nova AoE. Good, nice. Life Essence. While you have at least one soul trinket, you have advantage on death saving throws and con saving throws. Fine, sure. Spirit Query. You take a magic action to expend one soul trinket and immediately cast the Augury spell. It requires no spell components, and using Dexterity as the spellcasting modifier, the expended trinket is destroyed. What is the Augury spell? Let's check it.
You ask your DM a question, and they'll say yes or no kind of thing.
Oh.
Except it's like very specific. It's like a feast or famine. It's like wordplay, basically.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Basically, it's does nothing because like you ask the DM if doing an action would be good or bad, and they will tell you. But if you do this multiple times, it becomes like random. Like
Gotcha.
there's more chance of the answer being random. The reason why it's like an as spell is because the DM can't tell you for certain if something will be good and bad unless it's like a very specific scenario.
Gotcha. So there's a
I think it's fine here just because it's like free for that. It wasn't good for its spell level, but
yes,
this is just like an extra option of like, sure.
Yeah. Honestly, level 9, I don't see anything really good except for maybe Death's Kneel. It's fine. It is what
Oh
it
no,
is.
yeah. Like this entire thing is just you can use your AoE sneak attack more. And then if you just haven't done that yet and you go down, Life Essence is there to help you for saving throws. And then you can cast Augury if you want.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it is good as a feature, but not good as a spell kind of thing.
You also get to cast Speak with Dead once without using a spell slot, requiring no spell components, or using Dexterity as the spellcasting modifier. You regain the ability to cast this when you finish a short or long rest. This is kind of nice. I like this. This is a fine feature.
Yep.
This is a fun
Makes
feature.
sense.
Yeah. Oh, this one I'm gonna talk about because fuck this feature. I just skimmed through it and fuck this feature. Ghost Walk. As a bonus action, you assume a spectral form, gaining the benefits below for 10 minutes or until you end them. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest unless you expand and destroy one of your soul trinkets. So this is another trinket ability, basically. If you want. If not, you get this at least once for free. Fly. You gain a fly speed of 10 and can hover.
Sure. That's fine at level 13.
This is fine. The two I'm having trouble with here is Hazy Form.
Oh yeah, read the next one.
Hazy Form. Attack rolls have disadvantage against you. Fuck you.
Yeah. I love it when my rogues have the
specifically.
Cloak of Elvenkind. It's, a super powerful magical item that you need to work for. And now you just get it for free on your already broken class with 2 other defensive traits that also has a broken offensive trait.
Jesus fucking Christ. Why? Why? Like, why? The other is incorporeal movements. We talked about this. This is moving through
You can walk through
unoccupied
walls.
space.
If you stay in a bit, you get damaged. You know this shebang.
Yeah. Like, incorporeal movements I'm kinda okay with. What the fuck? Why do you give them Hazy Form? Why not add resistant to all damage except force at this point? Motherfuckers never taking damage anyway. Yes! And, like, this is also... I'm gonna fire back on this one really hard. So, as we all know, rogues have this special little class ability they gain at level 5 called Uncanny Dodge. And at level 7, they get Evasion. Why are we giving them more? Why are we giving them Hazy Form? What is this?
Well, I guess we can talk about this now in terms of like my thoughts on this whole class. Because
Go ahead.
I don't know. You want to quickly just talk about level 17 because Fuck, it doesn't matter.
Okay, level 17. Your associate with the death has become so close that you gain the following benefits. Death's Lament. You can use your whales from the grave feature. When you use your whales from the grave feature, you deal necrotic damage to both the first and the second creature. So now your sneak attack basically bypasses most. All high level.
It's level
base
17. This does not matter.
This is fine. Yeah, if you don't have a magic weapon already at level 17, what is your DM doing? Why do they hate you? Also, what did you do? The second is Draw of Death. When you roll initiative, you regain 1 soul trinket from your token of the departed if you have none remaining. Sure. This is whatever. Going back, hazy form? Really?
So it's so funny how like this is the most rogue class of all time to its like detriment of being overpowered. Like, you know, champions the fighter class where you're just more fighter. You can say that about Samurai too.
Yes.
Berserker is like the more barbarian class, you know. Hunter is the more ranger class.
Yep. Goes
down the list. But like those kind of make sense because like champion, fighter, hunter, ranger, like it just feels like an extension of that. Like phantom rogue is like this weird ghost rogue that is just your sneak attacks do more damage. You have more defensive traits on top of your defensive traits. It's just like, what?
And you have more offensive traits on top of your offensive traits.
Yeah. And also, this didn't need it. Right? Rogue didn't need it.
No.
It's just crazy.
Of course they fucking didn't. They have uncanny dodge and evasion. Who allowed this?
Uncanny dodge, evasion, scaling damage dice as you level up, and now you just get like basically every 2 damage dice you get another damage dice just as you level up. That's just how it is. Cool.
By the way,
cool.
By the time you get this ability, you also have improved Cunning Strike.
That's right. Like actually I need to read the wordings. Can you impose like debuffs on 2 people? Or is it just damage?
With sneak attack? I think it's just damage. I think this specifies damage. It says when you deal your sneak attack damage to a creature.
Yeah, and they just take necrotic. You're right.
Yep.
But it is like, hey, I'll take half of my sneak attack to impose disadvantage. It's still like the same damage being sent to like 2 people.
Yes. And you also give them like blindness or deafness or whatever the fuck. And it's like I am screaming right now internally, going I'm probably screaming externally too. What the fuck? Hi, Rune. I'm having a meltdown.
So to like go into the more subtle aspects of this, like we all know, the rogue dealing just more damage is kind of strong, and the rogue getting another defensive ability is like kind of also really good. Part of this thing is the trinkets, I think, that allow you to do more, because it's weird that this level, like this extra ability you get at level 9 also continues to scale as you level up.
Yes.
Like you get 2, but then as you level up you get 3 and 4, so like it's already strong. Hey, I can do my AoE damage more times. Hey, I can get my form that allows me to fly and have Cloak of Elven Kind and walk through walls. You also get more of it. It's weird that you get like this ability that increases your other abilities that are already strong. It just like adds to how sort of overtuned this sort of archetype is.
Yes.
Obviously this is you. Like there ain't no way this shit is sticking, right?
I pray to God it doesn't. Rune, I'm crashing about Rogue Phantom, what they did in the new 2025 horror subclass UA, and I'm just they made
it's a playtest archetype basically. Like they're like, you know, gave out like the rules so you can test it before it goes into prints, and it's way too overtuned is the issue.
Yeah, they made the most broken melee class even more broken and even more
Whoa, whoa, whoa! It's also a broken ranged class. Like
Fair,
rogue loses nothing by
fair.
being ranged.
Martial. Sorry, they made the most broken martial class even more broken, and you know what the clerics got? Something balanced. You know, ranger also got something broken, but nothing of this level. What am I looking at? Jesus Christ.
Well, the ranger class is broken, but this is a broken. So like it's a broken archetype on a bad class. This is a broken archetype on a really good class.
Yes, exactly. Like, ah. I can't.
It's like,
I can't.
you know, 25 AC on a ranger would be really good if they also got like uncanny dodge and evasion. But this is like, oh, I'll just get like disadvantage on all attacks against me, and I also have uncanny dodge and evasion.
No, Rune. Yes, Ranger deserves something broken at this point, but also, you know what Ranger getting a broken subclass does? It makes the Ranger playable. It makes it up to par with the other classes, and then I see Rogue Phantom, and I'm like, what happened?
Well, the other issue is the reason why I don't like the Ranger class. It's broken for a specific type of Ranger playstyle.
Yes, exactly.
This is also just like, once again, ranged, melee, however you play
this is broken for
Rogue,
everything.
this is going to be good.
This is broken for everything, everywhere, all the time. Like, hazy form plus incorporeal movements, and you can... No, this is a bonus action, so technically you can only use one of them. No, just no.
No, it's not one of them. It's an install.
It is an install. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, you use your bonus action once, big whoop, and then like.
And it's for 10 minutes.
Cool.
It's for 10 minutes. This is genuinely an install, and this doesn't require concentration. By the way, the moment you hazy form, you have it permanently all the time. Guess what? My ranger subclass requires my my concentration.
Get magic missile, dumbass. And now your entire archetype is useless.
Jesus Christ. Maybe it's time for me to learn how to... Yes, Rune, it is a... No, technically it has a meter. It has a meter of 10 minutes. It has a meter of, what, 600 turns?
And you can use it 5 times a day, but you're kind of sharing...
Sorry, no, 100
stuff with
turns.
it, like
100 turns. My bad. Imagine having your install type.
Yeah, yeah, that's what the ranger.
That's what the ranger is.
Oh my god.
I can't take this seriously. What is this? Who allowed this? Why? Kid, I'm genuinely crying.
Oh yeah, every combat you can do this too at 17 because just get the trinket back. You can't do the
Oh yeah.
Can't use the trinket for AoE stabs or whatever. Like, oh, I can't do 1.5 times more damage. Oh well.
No.
I'll just be unhittable and still do 1 times damage.
Mind you, you can still do that 5 times. And mind you, at level 13, you have 3 trinkets. So use one of your trinkets to...
No, but like if you're already all out, you just get another one at the start. Like
that's also
every
true.
single combat, you're going to be in the install once you hit 17.
God damn it, WotC, what is this?
Yeah.
I try to defend WotC at every turn because D&D is my favorite game.
Once again, this is just playtest. Like this isn't real.
Yes.
None of this shit is real.
All right,
we ignore this. Like fucking Mystic is a class that doesn't exist. All right.
Yes.
If it's UA, we just think about it for a bit. It's fine.
Yeah. By the way, I will correct myself. I try to defend WotC's game design decisions.
I don't. I still think there's some pretty bad stuff.
No, there's horrible stuff. Don't get me wrong. But I try to give them the benefit of the doubt. My eyes cannot give any benefits of any doubt after seeing this. What is this? Okay, let's just move on before I lose my mind to the Shadow Sorcerer.
I'll give this rating a 6 out of 10. I do think a more rogue, even if it is a weird theme, can exist, especially if rogue archetypes are allowed to be good now. Yeah. And then, every single minus point is the fact that this is way overtuned.
Yes, I'll give it a 5 out of 10, simply because of my spite for rogue, but with the way I have been pointing on how good the subclass actually is without caring about balance between other classes and like other subclasses. Realistically, this is like a really high ranked one, but I can't. I can't. This is a 5 out of 10, and that's me being kind. Sir, you shouldn't be giving the benefit of the doubt. You should start doubting the benefits. Okay. Alright. Shadow Sorcery, let's go. Your innate magic comes from Shadowfell itself. You might trance your lineage to an entity from that place, or perhaps you were exposed to the Shadowfell's sinister energy and were transformed by it. Your shadowy magic allows you to command darkness, undeath, and woe with ease. At level 3, you get Eyes of Darkness. You have dark vision within a range of 120 feet and blind sight within a range of 10 feet. In addition, if a spell you cast creates an area of darkness, you can see normally through the spell's darkness. Kinda good. Alright, I have to head to bed. Good night, y'all. Try not to mull too hard. I will do my best, Rune. Good night.
Now we skip. Oh, well, when I get to the Hexblade, only because it's once again cementing that a better ranger exists.
At level 3, you also have shadow spells, which are Bane. Oh, you get Darkness for free. Inflict wounds, pass without trace. At level 5, you get Hunger of Hadar, Summon Undead. At level 7, you get Greater Invisibility and Phantasmal Killer. At level 9, you get Contagion and Creation. I don't know what Contagion is.
I'm not gonna bother looking. I'm just gonna assume it's good. Like a full caster getting the sorcerer spell list like has no problems really. It's fine.
Yeah, 100%. At level 6, Spirits of Eloman, you cast Summon Undead without material components. You can also cast it once without a spell slot. Oh, the poor Artificer subclass. Oh, poor Necromancy Wizards, actually, never mind. The Artificer subclass still has stuff going for it. Poor Necromancy Wizards.
Well, okay. Necromancy Wizard and... Well, let me think.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
right. Is it undead too? Yes. You summon undead is undead. I'm assuming you can't summon Celestial with summon undead.
Yeah. It's different flavor lore-wise, and technically speaking, Necromancy Wizard, like, gives more to the undead you summon or create, but it's also not a lot, so, like, this is contention, you know?
Also, whenever you start casting the spell, you can modify it so it doesn't require concentration. Excuse me? Sorry, excuse me? Did we not talk about concentration all day today? And this one just says no, fuck you to concentration? Really? Okay, sure.
Yeah, strange.
Yeah, okay. If you do, the spell's duration becomes 1 minute. Oh, boo-hoo. Oh, boo-hoo, you have, what, 10 turns of a free con spell without having to concentrate? Oh, boo-hoo. Woe is you. For that casting, spell ends early if you cast it again. Mm-hmm. I see. Okay, yeah, sure. Level 14, Shadow Walk. While you're in dim light or darkness, you can take a bonus action to teleport up to 120 feet to an unoccupied space you can see that is also in dim light or darkness.
Fuck, I love Shadow Monk on... Cool.
This is amazing.
It's fine. For level 14, this is fine.
Yeah, this is really good. Cast darkness to a
if
far
Shadow
spot.
Monks can get this at like level 3, sorcerers can get this at level 14.
Yeah. But to be fair, like, this is like someone is close to you, you're a sorcerer, you cast darkness behind you, instantly teleports, and you're like,
I get the build.
Yep. This is like, this is good. I like that. It's an unchanged feature. I really like this.
Yeah, this
I didn't
is
know
unchanged.
it. I didn't know it. Best part of Shadow subclasses? Yeah.
Yeah.
At level 18, you get Umbral Form. No way. Okay, I know Umbral form.
It's different. And
Is
also,
it?
it's fine on a sorcerer.
Okay, let me read it. As a bonus action, you adopt a shadowy form, gaining benefits for 1 minute until you have the incapacitated condition or until you end the form. No action required. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest unless you spend 6 sorcery points. Fair. Incorporeal movement, we talked about this. Shadow resilience, you have resistance to all damage except force and radiance. This is nice. Strength of the grave, if you would drop to 0 hit points and not die outright, you can make a charisma saving throw, DC 5, plus half damage taken. If you succeed, your hit points instead change to a number equal to 3 times your sorcery level. Yeah, this is nice. I think it does, because I haven't read anything that does give it that, Lizard. Honestly, Shadow Sorcerer, I like it. It's nice for what it is. I don't think it's broken in any way, but it's also, like, good. Like, it...
I'll give this the 10 out of 10.
Yeah, this is a 10 out of 10.
It gives it the
100%.
buffs that put it in line with some of the 2024 subclasses that got buffed as well.
Yep.
And then, of course, they big fan of the see-through darkness or magical darkness ability, because it should have had that from the beginning.
100%. 100%. Also, hi, IC. But yeah, this is really good. I like it. I really like it a
Good,
lot.
balanced fun.
Yeah. Alright, Kit, are you ready to mold together?
Howdy, I see. I'm not gonna mold, I'm just saying, like, fuck Ranger, dude. Why even bother?
I feel you.
I'll just play a Hexblade Warlock.
Hexblade Patron Warlock. You've made a pack with a sentient magic weapon and the cursed forces contained within its blade. So technically, does it have to be a blade?
No, this can be a bow.
Right? That's what I was thinking. That's the first thing that came to mind.
Like, I've said this before. Pact of the Blade, Hexblade Warlock is a better ranger with a bow than, a ranger.
Yep.
Just in every single way. The only, thing you need to do is that a Pact of the Blade feature gives you a sword automatically, and you can only attune to magical weaponry. So you need to then get a magical bow to start using a bow. But I feel like your DM just never gives you a magical bow despite you saying you want to do that.
That's a bad DM. That's a bad DM. I will say it right now.
You're not going to get one right away, I understand.
Well,
but like,
not right away,
if they
for sure.
never do that, then like, huh?
But if you talked with your DM and you were like, hey, I want to play this ranged Hexblade Warlock. I want to be a bowcaster.
Like, honestly,
right?
at that point, the DM just says, like, sure, it works with bows. like you can use a bow. It doesn't need to be magical.
Yeah, 100%. Such a weapon could be the sword sheath at a warlock's side, or it could be an infamous magic weapon stored elsewhere, projecting its power across the multiverse to further its cunning plans. To those who are willing to follow this weapon's whims, these read that for me? Inscrutable?
Yeah, I think it's inscrutable.
Inscrutable patrons offer the power to bestow malignant curses, deliver punishing blows, and bolster the wielder. At level 3, you get the Hexblade spells, Arcane Vigor, Hex, so the better Hunter's Mark, Magic Weapon, Shield, Wrathful Smite. At level 5, you get Conjure Barrage, Dispel Magic. Dispel Magic is really nice here. Level 7...
Oh, and I need to add just a bit of an addendum.
Go ahead.
Because, Warlock is a little bit changed. This isn't an expanded list. You could probably tell because, Hex is on here.
Yes.
But this is an always prepared list, so you always get these spells in addition to the spells you regularly learn.
Yes. At level 5, you get Conjure Barrage, Dispel Magic. At level 7, you get Freedom of Movement and Staggering Smite. Ooh. Okay. A build is coming to mind slowly. At level 9, you get Animate Objects and Steel Wind Strike. Whatever. At level 3, you also get Hexblade Manifest. Your patron grants you the power to summon cursed echoes of its blade to hinder your foes. You gain the following benefits. Hexblade's Curse. You can cast Hex without expending a spell slot up to the number of times equal to your Charisma modifier, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. When you cast Hex, a spectral weapon resembling your patron orbits the cursed target. That second part is useless because you can flavor it however you want.
Yep.
Hexblade maneuvers once per turn when you hit a target cursed by your Hex with an attack roll. You can cause one of the additional effects. Draining Slash. The target makes a con save against your spell save DC. On a failed save, the target can't make an opportunity attack, and its speed is held until the start of your next turn. Goddamn. Harrowing Blade. The target makes a Wisdom save. On a failed save, the next time the target makes an attack roll against a creature other than you before the start of your next turn, the target takes necrotic damage equal to your Charisma modifier. Nice.
Yep.
Read that word for me. There's no way I can pronounce that. Not in any plane of existence.
Stimmying. Stimmying mark.
Thank you. The target has disadvantage on the next saving throw it makes before the start of your next turn. Honestly, so far, nice. And yes, this is just a better ranger. I see it in every way, shape, and form.
I can talk about it right now before we move on.
Go ahead.
So,
Go ahead.
You get free casts of Hex. The one thing that Hunter's Mark had over Hex that for a ranger is that a ranger gets like multiple casts of it for free. Now you have multiple casts of Hex for free. Cool. Good. Grand. It's the better ranger because Hex is already the better spell because its fringe use of disadvantage on a skill check is at least a little bit more usable than where a creature is while it's on it, The thing that's already going to be dead in just a couple of seconds.
Hopefully.
Secondly, Hexblade maneuvers. Damn, we're talking about Ranger doesn't get like upgrades to their Hunter's Mark until levels 10 and up. And now you do have them now, and they're pretty good. Just like deal more damage, make them like unable to move away from you, sort of like semi-taunt them. Give them disadvantage on saving throws for like any of your other spells or shit, or like set up for ally stuff. Like, and this is all just free. Like, Ranger wishes they could do more with Hunter's Mark. Like, from the get, before this came out, Hex was better than Hunter's Mark because it was just slightly better in its fringe usage, and then it becomes straight up better for a Warlock to do Ranger things because a Warlock gets an extra attack at level 11.
Yes.
So it's just better in every way. And like, there was one fringe use, or one use where it was technically better, where if you're doing a bunch of back-to-back combats, the Ranger is better because in order for a Warlock to constantly use Hex every combat, they need like a short rest in between some of those, which I think is like very plausible. So like in my mind, it wasn't much of a difference, but now it doesn't matter anymore. You have like 2 to 5, whatever your charisma is, for free, and then you can just go into your spell list too to get them. And I didn't even talk about the spells yet. Like, spells are really good.
Yep.
Shield.
Yep.
Shield on my Gish. Hell yeah.
Warlocks just get better spells than Rangers do, and it's something we live with every day. Every single day.
And that's just what made them like strictly better with comparisons. We should continue reading, because then it's just...
Oh, I will.
Side from here.
Lifestealer at level 6. Your patron might allow you to drain vitality from those you curse, granting you the following benefits. Hungering Hex. When you target a cursed creature... when the targeted cursed creature drops to 0 hit points, you regain HP equal to 1d8 plus your charisma modifier. You get lifesteal by killing a creature.
Fuck yeah.
Inevitable Blade. Once per turn, if you make an attack roll against the target cursed by your hex and miss, this is if you miss, you can deal necrotic damage to the creature equal to your charisma modifier. So did you really miss? Dang. Level 10, you get Armor of Hexes. When you take damage from cursed targets, you can take a reaction to reduce the damage taken by an amount equal to 2d8 plus your charisma modifier. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your charisma modifier and regain all expended uses on a long rest.
What do you want me to say? It's just good, right?
No, I'm stalling because I'm like, I'm remembering what the ranger got, which is still a really good subclass. Don't get me wrong, but then I'm reading this and I'm like, they really hate us. They really hate us. Okay, fine. Level 14, Masterful Hex. Your patron's accursed might flows even more strongly through you, granting you the following benefits. A curse critical. Oh my god. Any attack roll you make against the target cursed by Hex is a crit on a 19 or 20. Infectious Hex. When you use one of your Hexblade maneuvers, you can target one additional creature within 30 feet of the cursed target. The additional target takes 1d6 necrotic damage. That's fine. No way. Resilience Hex. Taking damage can't break your concentration on Hex. God damn it. Okay, yeah, they just hate us. I don't know what to tell you, Kit. They just hate us.
Strictly better Ranger. I do love a Gish, so I'm a little bit biased. I would give this an 8 out of 10.
I would give this a 9 out of 10.
But I do think it's like overtuned. Like there's a little too much survivability here, a little too much damage here.
Yes, 100%.
Than should be like given on a class. Like some of these feats per level should like give you like not something strictly beneficial, more of like a utility, you know?
Yes, I agree. Oh, the next class is also a Warlock subclass. Warlock's eating good today! The Undead Patron. You made a pact.
I'll say, like, sorry, really quick, it's kind of weird that
go ahead.
Hexblade is a part of this. Like, it makes sense for the Undead Patron, but the Hexblade's like... I mean,
you wanna know
these are
why?
like horror subclasses.
You wanna know why? It's because people were complaining that the Hexblade was gone.
Yeah, I could get it. It's like what made, you know, Gish Warlock viable.
Yep. And they just brought it back. They just went, you want Hexblade? Oh, we'll give you Hexblade, alright. We'll give you Hexblade. And they just did. Gosh.
Oh, the thing about that lizard, about like the shield or resist, let me just repeat this to make sure. Make reaction. Yeah, like honestly, the resist is pretty decent because it doesn't take up your spell slots. But like that's also like shield is fine too because you only get armor of hexes like at level 10. Like you're using shield up until level 10, then you're like, cool.
Yeah,
I can like not bother using a spell slot anymore for this.
Yep, and with the new Warlock being as limited as it is with spells. This is kind of fine, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, it's still strong, it's still really good, it's still a lot of survivability. It's also, like, fine.
This is good. What I'm trying to say here is that I wish Ranger had shield. Anyways, continue.
I wish. We'll never get that. You know we'll never get that.
Nope.
The Undead Patron Warlock. Defy death for profane power. You've made a pact with a creature that defies the cycle of life and death. A powerful lich, vampire, or other entity of undeath, having once been mortal themselves. These ancient patrons know firsthand the paths of ambition and the routes past the doors of death. They eagerly share this profane knowledge, along with other secrets, with those who work their will among the living. At level 3, you get Form of Dread. As a bonus action, you transform into an avatar of your patron's dreadful power, gaining the benefits below for 1 minute until you have the incapacitated condition. Oh god, hiccups. Or until you end the form. You can transform a number of times equal to your charisma modifier, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Kit, I'm gonna need you to read that word.
Simile?
Facsimile of Life. You gain temporary hit points equal to 1d10 plus your Warlock level. Frightful Avatar. You have immunity to the frightened condition. Additionally, once per turn, when you hit a creature with an attack roll, you can force it to make a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC. On a failed save, the target has the frightened condition until the end of your next turn. You get the undead spells. At level 3, you get Blindness, Deafness, False Life, Phantasmal Force, and Ray of Sickness. At level 5, you have Speak with Dead and Vampiric Touch. At level 7, you get Death Ward and Phantasmal Killer. And at level 9, you have Anti-Life Shell and Cloud Kill. These are fine. At level 6, you get the Grave Touch feature. Your Patron's power have a profound effect on your body and magic, granting you the following benefits. Arcane Necrosis. Whenever you cast a spell or hit a creature with an attack roll and deal necrotic damage, the damage dealt ignores resistances to necrotic damage. Additionally, once per turn, when you cast a spell that deals damage while you're using Form of Dread, you can change the spell's damage type to necrotic. That's actually really good. Undead Endurance. You don't gain exhaustion levels from dehydration, malnutrition, or suffocation. In addition, you don't need to sleep, and magic can't put you to sleep. Okay, what is this?
What's that?
What is this feature? This basically says you
attack
don't...
onto an already good feature.
Yeah, this says you don't get exhaustion, period.
Nope. What matters is you still get exhaustion for missing a long rest.
But it says you don't need to sleep.
Sleep and long resting are different things mechanically.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Trust me. I know my coffee lock. This doesn't help with it.
Gotcha. Necrotic Husk. Your connection to Undeath now saturates your body. You gain the following benefits. Necrotic Resilience. You have resistance to necrotic damage. While using your Form of Dread, you have immunity to necrotic damage. Unholy Resuscitation. If you drop to 0 hit points and don't die outright, you can cause your body to erupt with deathly energy. Each creature of your choice in a 30-foot range originating from you makes a Constitution saving throw against your spell save DC, taking necrotic damage equal to 2d10 plus your Warlock level on a failed save and half as much on a success. Your hit point then changes to 10 times your Charisma modifier, minimum of 10, and you gain 1 exhaustion level. Once you use this benefit, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest. Okay, level with me and tell me if I'm wrong. Isn't this a bit too strong for a level 10 feature?
It depends on how you want to look at it, because it's strong for level 10, but also this is the second to last archetype ability. It's weird because warlock archetypes get their abilities like faster than everybody else. You'll see that with the 14 ability, which is also pretty strong for level 14.
Gotcha.
It's strong for the level, but like it's going to even out with the fact that you're not going to get stronger abilities after this for your archetype.
Very
because
fair.
it's the end of it.
Also, Lizard, it isn't magic sleep resistance. It's full-on immunity.
I'm sure that's what he means.
I know, but like, for anyone reading it, I want to make sure everyone else is also aware. It's just immunity. I wish it was resistance.
It is this kind of flavor.
Yeah.
Just be like just an elf or whatever.
Fair.
Like, it's fine.
Yeah. Level 14, Superior Dread. Your Form of Dread improves, granting you the following benefits while you're using it. Flight. You have flight speed equal to your speed and can hover. Okay. Profane Casting. Whenever you cast a Warlock spell from the Conjuration or Necromancy school, you cast it without any verbal somatic. You except material components that are consumed by the spell. You cast it without any verbal, somatic, or material components, except materialist components that are... So... This is just silent spell, I see. Without even the somatic necessities. That's actually... That's really fun! That's more fun than anything. I don't think it's broken, I think it's just fun.
It's just a fun thing.
Yeah. That being said, can you counterspell this? Still? Because you can't see the spell being made. Is this just flavor, or does this actually affect something?
I don't know. That's a good question. Also, counterspell is different.
True.
I don't know is the question. Like DMs, it's probably like a DM thing. Like, can you counterspell a spell that you don't know is being cast? I think no, because you don't know it's being cast.
Yeah, that's exactly how I would do it as well. Vitality Siphon. Once per turn, when you deal necrotic damage to a creature, you regain hit points equal to your charisma modifier. So this is also just lifesteal. Okay. Honestly, I think this subclass is fine. It's strong, don't get me wrong, but it's Warlock. I wasn't expecting anything less. But I do think it's fine.
Compared to the other Warlock archetypes, it's ever so slightly overtuned.
Yes, I do agree with that.
Other than that, just, 9 out of 10. Because of slight overtune. Still mostly on par with the other stuff.
I agree. Honestly, for most of the subclasses in this UA, really fun, really nice. Though there are 3 clearly overpowered subclasses here. The Hollow Warden being overpowered for the Ranger, but I feel like it's overpowered for a certain playstyle, if you want to play that playstyle, and then again it has its counters, so it's kind of fine. The Phantom, there's...
I think the counter being like specifically Magic Missile is like not fine.
Well, it's not just Magic Missile, it's Intelligence saving throws as well. Strength saving throws, Intelligence saving throws.
I still wouldn't count that as viable downsides.
Yeah,
unless
fair.
your DM is putting these things to counter you specifically.
Yeah.
Similar to putting wizards with magic missiles to be against you. It's like,
That is very fair. Yeah, you're right. The Phantom Rogue, I just can't. Like, this is so clearly overpowered and overtuned in every way, shape, and form. I just can't. I can't take it seriously. I'm genuinely waiting for nerfs before the actual release. See, Hexblade is good, and so is the Undead Patron. I don't know if I'd call it overpowered for either one. Maybe the Hexblade...
So Hexblade is overtuned for Warlock archetypes, basically.
Yeah.
But if you're like comparing like this Gish build to other like sort of more martial builds, it's fine.
Yeah,
like it's on par.
It's just the Ranger sucks. That's why comparing
Yep,
it to the
it's
Ranger,
just the Ranger sucks compared to the Ranger.
It's so
incredible.
High and above everything else, but compared to anything else, it's fine. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
I do want Warden to be toned down just a little bit, because like it's just so far above everything else. Phantom needs to be toned down.
Phantom needs to be toned down heavily.
If Hexblade wasn't toned down, I'd be fine. It's like whatever.
Yeah.
Because like, it's also like very specific to like the Gish build, you know? Like, what sucks about Warden is like it's a good and overtuned for defensive Ranger, but also there's every other way to play Ranger sucks because Ranger sucks. This is a two kind of like overtuned way to play Martial Warlock, but the other ways to play Warlock are still good.
Yeah, 100%.
In comparison.
100%. See, I understand why you want the Warden nerfed before release. I want everything else buffed with Warden's release. Just buff every other subclass to reach its level. Because I feel like this is a normal D&D level of like a subclass.
No, it only works like that because of how bad the Ranger is. I think we just need to buff the Ranger class and then everything else is fine.
But yeah, buff Ranger, nerf Hollow Warden, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I think it shouldn't be like, hey, buff every single Ranger archetype so it can be good. I think it's buff the Ranger class so that you don't... Because the archetypes are fine. Like, the archetypes are the best part about the Ranger class.
I agree. Gloomstalker's really nice. I love the Gloomstalker. Beastmaster as a theme is so fun to even think about. I like the Hollow Warden's theme to it. It is, as we talked about, a lot overpowered. And honestly, I can't think of the rest right now. Hunter's Hunter. I can't even talk about Hunter.
Hunter. It's the more Ranger.
Yeah.
I like it.
And Fey
But yeah.
Wanderer, you're gonna hate me for this, probably, but I hate the Fey Wanderer. It's bad.
I hate it too.
It's bad. It's just so bad.
I don't think it's good.
Take away Fey Wanderer, give me Horizon Walker, I'll be much more happier. Like,
It's kind of this weird Charm Ranger, which is like, huh?
yeah.
What?
Yeah. Like, give Fey Wanderer to Bards. I don't need this.
That makes sense.
I don't need this. Tempest
Cleric when they
Over
release
my
the
dead
2024 Elemental Evil Handbook.
Over my dead body.
We already went before this. It's fine.
It's fine. It's good. It's just
for multi-classing purposes.
Yeah.
If like you need to be level 3 to get that max damage, electric stuff.
Oh yeah, honestly, with Tempest Cleric and this UA's Artificer.
Hell yeah, dude!
Oh,
get fully healed by Lightning Bolt.
That'd be so. Honestly, that'd be so.
Yeah,
fun.
the Tempest friend is usually how you do it. You because you want to go full into the Artificer to get the stronger Frankenstein.
Yep.
But I just get like the Tempest Cleric friend.
Yep, basically.
And then just a sorcerer doing whatever and just also has Lightning Bolt.
100%. It's just so
just
good.
blaster caster it.
It's so good, man. It's so good. I love it. Honestly, I will say this.
That's a funny team. I like that. That's a funny one-shot team.
100%. My favorite class from this UA, it's not the Ranger. It's the Artificer. I really like the Artificer.
I mean, they added my favorite Bard subclass, but they made it worse in the way I like it, so, Hexblade. I love Gish, and fuck, that's a Gish of all time class. Like,
oh, yeah.
Regular Hexblade wasn't super Gish. This is super Gish.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. This is like... I think every Gish player was just waiting for this. Like, genuinely.
I'm saying... I don't think I'll ever play Ranger ever again. I read Eldritch Knights 2024. I think it's worth playing. For like with more utility stuff. It's not just I cast shield and counter spell. That's all my spell slots are for.
Also, let me correct you. You won't play Ranger ever again until Horizon Walker 2024 releases.
Oh, we'll see. I'm just saying.
That's true.
Eldritch Knight can Misty Step.
Oh, you're kidding! That's true.
Well, yeah, so
I
like the thing
forgot
that made
about
Eldritch Knight better is that they no longer limited the spells they can learn.
Oh, that's true. Oh, you're right. Heck.
And this is more built for a Gish, but like Warlock spellcasting is still like a bit more limited. I would like it to be, but like I like this because it's overtuned. It's probably going to be nerfed before it comes out fully.
It might be. It might also not be. I wouldn't be too surprised if it wasn't.
Yeah.
Because
big fan of Hexblade.
It is overtuned, but it's also like it's the Warlock class. Let's be honest. Are they ever gonna nerf it? No, realistically not. Like, I scrolled a little bit up, saw Phantom, all my mood just disappeared instantly when I saw Hazy form again. Okay.
Big fan of Hexblade. Big fan of. I did like Undead. I think I would rather pick Hexblade now because of how good it is now.
Yes.
With how basically because it upgraded like Hex and how Hex works.
100%.
I think Hexblade Hex, which is like a specific archetype thing, was a little bit too messy. So I didn't. It was like bleh. I think it's good now. Other than that, I did like Undead Warlock was kind of my go-to.
Yeah, it looks nice. It looks really nice.
But I like it. I like the additions to Shadow Sorcery. But like basically the ability to see through magical darkness. I was surprised it didn't have that before. I feel like all archetypes that allow you to cast darkness should give you that because like that's the point.
Yep.
100%. Phantom's Phantom. Warden's Warden.
Yeah.
Grave Domain is Grave Domain. I like that's a little bit better, but I don't know if I'll ever pick it.
I don't think I will. Realistically speaking, if I'm playing a cleric, right now with the subclasses that are out, I'm either playing Life or War. And probably nothing else. Oh!
Yeah.
Never mind, scratch that. I will play Trickery every time I get the chance to play Trickery.
Trickery's fun, yeah.
Yeah.
College of Spirits, I'll still pick it because it's my favorites. bard to make, and it's the archetype that makes, or yeah, the archetype that makes sense. But it did get better, but worse in the way that I liked that I played it.
I hope they'll buff it a little bit. By buff it, I mean, I hope they'll tune it a little bit more and make it a little bit more spirit focused.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like that, because technically speaking, balance-wise, it kind of doesn't need it, but I do hope they change it just a little bit. Because it's very ever so slightly not what I want it to be.
100%. 100%. Yeah, see, I'm talking a lot of shit about the fans, and spiritual manifestation is still there for the bard.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like this is just as bad as like hazy form. Like, I'm gonna be 100% honest here. Hazy form.
Well, no, actually, you would never use the manifestation because it's random. Like, it's not useful. All of your bardic inspirations would be spent on.
Oh no, I'm not talking about powers from beyond. I'm talking about spiritual manifestation, which is spirit guardians.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like that is just as broken as hazy form. So
Yeah, but bard's a fine class. It wasn't a broken class. Rogue is like. Rogue was described up until 2024 a class with such good class features that its subclass features were kind of middling.
Yep, and now they're buffing both in 2024. Which,
yep.
I have feelings about. If I get into it here, we'll be here for like another hour, so...
Like, don't get me wrong, the Spiritual Guardian is strong, but Bard itself is not like such a strong class that like, oh, it's obvious like, oh, this is just a good option for Bard.
Yep. Hi Jed, hydrate, I got you.
Hell yeah, I need to hydrate as well.
But yeah, like, genuinely, please fix some of these classes before release, WotC. I know you're not going to. I know it's going to come out almost exactly the same.
I will. Dude, have you fucking read Mystic?
Which one?
So, like, for the longest time, in terms of, like, legacy classes in D&D that aren't in, like, base D&D but would be added later, for UA, through 2014, was, the classes Artificer and Mystic. Mystic being, like, the Psychic class. The class was overpowered. It was way too powerful.
And it never came out.
That it never came out, and then in return, they just added Psychic subclasses to some relevant stuff. We got the Soul Knife for Rogue, Psy Warrior for Fighter, and something else for something else. And that makes sense.
Yeah. 100%.
Like, that makes perfect sense. That's how it should be. Because base Mystic was fucking overpowered.
Oh. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That being said, I will also say this. I do want to see some new classes.
Yeah.
Like,
that's like the weird thing. They never do that.
Yeah, I don't get why. Well, at least they have now started adding new subclasses and like to Artificer, and like we're getting some new subclasses for like the base classes that we never had before with like the Hollow Warden. So I'm really appreciative, but also like the Ill Rigger was also released. And it is in D&D Beyond as a usable class. Lovely, beautiful, and I have so much fun playing it. I'm playing a Elrigger right now in one of my campaigns. Well, the only campaign I am currently a player in. So I would love to see some new classes because, look, we all love the base classes and we all love D&D, yes, but that's not going to change anytime soon. And new subclasses are always fun to find and test and play. I wouldn't mind seeing some new classes here. We've been having the same classes for 10 years. One or two new classes won't kill us. Yeah, go ahead.
Pathfinder. They're not afraid of adding new classes, and the new classes are fun.
DM for me. I'll play it. I told you this 100 times. DM me Pathfinder, I'll play Pathfinder. I can't.
That was really funny.
Pathfinder DMs.
An hour later, we talked about this, A cool friend of mine said they'll DM Pathfinder 2e.
If that cool friend of yours is down to have me as a player, I am so down to play. You have no idea.
It's also for a funny reason. The same reason where it's like, I want to play but not DM kind of thing.
Yep.
And same with him, but since no one was DMing, he was like, fuck it, I'll DM and just put in the DM PC and play as well.
Gotcha. As I said, if this is not a, like, IRL game, if it's online and your cool friend doesn't mind having me as a player, I would be so down to play anytime. Because you already know I'm DMing a lot of campaigns right now, either DMing or preparing to DM for them. I would love to be a player, and I would love to play a brand new TTRPG. I've never played Pathfinder before. I've never played Pathfinder 2e before.
No one has. Or everyone in this campaign is completely new, including the DM.
Oh yeah, so I'm so down to play and get to RP just one character and not have to worry about the world building and the NPCs and everything. Cause don't get me wrong, I love DMing. Anyone who has DM'd can say this. As much as we love DMing, it also gets a bit tiring, and you also do want to play the game at some point. So.
Yep.
With that, I think that's all for today, right?
I mean, yeah, mission accomplished. We
Heck yeah.
talked about the UA.
And we talked about our overall feelings. I think the UA is good. Some classes definitely need tuning, but other than that, I love the classes that are coming. I love subclasses that are coming. And I'm very excited. I'm excited to see some of these new ones. 100%.
Yep. Can't wait to play Gish again.
Seconds. Nope, this is not what I'm looking for. There we go. And so, the lantern dims, but the spark it lit will keep burning. Thank you for joining us around the fire, traveler. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep building, and let your worlds shine brighter than ever. We'll see you beneath the lantern's light. Goodbye, everyone!